Gutterball frame 111 coming out at you Friday, coming in on Friday. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. We got a great list of topics. You want to get on Gutterball. Great way. The best way to get a hold of us is Instagram DM. Just DM us on Instagram. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. Get on Gutterball. We want to hear from the people. The people, Paul. That's what we're here to do. We're about the people, for the people, by the people. But yeah, we're gonna do song of the weeks. First go into how we're doing, and then we'll, go from there. I got some great topics, Paul. You're gonna be blown away. It's gonna amaze you. You're gonna be like, you're not gonna believe half of them. A lot of them are made up. All these are made up. Paul,
Okay.
what's up though?
Okay.
What's new in your world? What's popping?
Nothing new other than just, depression's back in full swing. So I haven't been feeling the greatest lately, but I'm trying to remain positive. Other than that, not a whole lot else. How about yourself?
Mm, yeah, that's terrible. The depression's bad when you gotta add back in full swing. It's full swing. It ain't even half swing. It's full there. Yeah, depression is a bitch. Little guy we all want to defeat, but he's always kind of there. But Paul, I'm always doing horrible. Every time I'm on this podcast, I just want to end it live on the show. I'm gonna Bud Dwyer myself. One of these days, Paul. One of these days, I'm gonna be like,
You know,
laying down that. I'm gonna pull something out from a brown plastic bag. You see a brown paper bag, you're like, oh, today's the day.
what if
No.
I came at it from the point of like, well, it'd be really good exposure for us if you did do that. It's just terrible.
I would do it if Devourment would use my suicide as an album cover, but they won't, they wouldn't that shit.
Well, the
Yeah,
thing is, this is pre-recorded, so I just wouldn't upload it.
you just wouldn't upload it. No, I got upload. What do you mean? I'll pretend like it's live, re-upload it. You kind of fucked up. You have to upload my suicide.
No, that's terrible. I just start crying.
You have to start crying. It's in my will. It's literally in the will. You have to do it. You have to do
That's
it.
horrible.
Well, but I'm pretty good, doing what I can to stay on top of things. We're gonna do song of the week, real quick. I got a little bit longer thing.
Really quick though, can I interject and can we talk about how you didn't show up yesterday? No,
Okay.
I'm just joking.
Okay, let's talk.
No.
No, we're talking about. Let's talk about it. So, out of 111 episodes, mind you, I have been on time every single, very punctual. 110 episodes, 110 episodes, punctual, on time. Even before Paul, I've been here. I mess up once, and Paul's sitting at a goddamn horse down my chimney, pissed off, horse head down my chimney, decapitated.
I'm just giving you a hard time. I just think it's funny to give you shit for it, especially since you're like, I'll be there in 20 minutes, and then an hour later, I'm like, okay, this guy's not fucking.
It's the product of. Oh, wait, what are you gonna do? It's crazy world, right? Time, dude. You know what's crazy though about time? Once you get older, you like close your eyes and you're like, oh, 15 minutes have gone by, and you close your eyes and then an hour has gone by. Time's a bitch, man. Especially with driving.
It's
Like I noticed
terrible.
that with driving a lot. It's really, really bad. Yeah, no apologies. I don't give a fuck. I'm here now, carrying the show once again. So there you go. Paul couldn't record one episode without me. He couldn't Theo Von it.
I could have done it myself, but I wasn't going to.
You wouldn't have. No, I need to be here, and I apologize for that. That was a result of ill planning, not on my behalf. So
It's all good. There may be a listener out there right now that is responsible. Yeah, no, I'm just.
No. That was my fault. Everything's my fault. It's always my fault.
I should have found out where you were and cut the brake lines on the van, on the U-Haul van.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, that's what I was doing. I was moving stuff in like 85-degree heat, and I decided to wear my baggy Limp Bizkit Fred Durst parachute pants. Why I decided to do that, I don't know, Paul. I thought it'd be a smart idea. Most kids didn't want to have shorts and like have my dick hanging out of the shorts, so I was like, I gotta wear pants for moving, and it ended up biting me in the ass. And yeah, no, I got some scars here. I'll cut up. You can't even see them. I'm all cut up from moving and stuff.
You're in the trenches.
Yeah, moving. Yeah, I've never really moved. I have helped people move, but this is like the first time I really helped someone move, and kind of sucks because the way I treat my shit is I would just whip it, But I can't whip her stuff, but I would just whip mine when I move it. All these bends, I'm just gonna whip them. I don't care. Full of garbage anyway. It sucks. It does suck. It's the worst thing ever. I never want to do that again, and I never will.
Did she find a nice place? Is this her first place on her own?
No, she has a couple of roommates. I don't want to get into whole details, but anyway, fucking, oh, my move and cool down meter is like, it's got a year left. So next year, talk to me about moving anybody, by the way. Any friends, any family, Paul, you're moving, figure it out. Next year, you can talk to me. I do one move a year. That's it. That's my done. And 1 year for someone else. One move a year for someone else.
Well, hopefully next it's you, right?
Well, yeah, because that's fine. It's me. It's me moving myself. I'm cool with that. There's no meter with that. But anyone else, my level of tolerance for moving is zero. And here's another thing. She's like, "Oh, if you get," I was like, mention. I was just like to somebody. I was like, "Oh, I'll get a truck." They're like, "Well, if you get a truck, you gotta like help people move and stuff." I'm like, "No, but no, I'm not gonna use the truck functionally. I'm gonna use it so I don't slid out and die in the winter, you know. But I'm not helping anyone move." It's like that Parks and Rec Mark Banjanowitz where he's like, "I fucking hate having a pickup truck. He has to move everybody all the time." Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, you wanna
Um,
know what else is, the thing about having a pickup truck? Boundaries. You just tell people no.
yeah, just tell him no. I don't move anything. This baby has delicate suspension.
Or you go, "Hey, pop over to the local Menards. It's $20 for the first hour for free to rent a truck, and then after that, it's based on mileage or some shit." Like,
Yeah.
they'll just give you
Hey,
the
you
keys
know
and you can
that
go.
I had to rent a U-Haul, and I'd never done that before. I had to rent it myself pretty much, and it it was super cheap, like surprisingly cheap, like
Well,
too cheap.
you just got, like, the van one, right? You didn't get, like, an actual
Mhm.
box truck. See, I've rented the box trucks and, yeah, they're cheap for what it is. Just make sure you don't fuck it up, you know?
Yeah, the box truck I did not drive. I got the van, and yeah, I was whipping that thing around. Thing's a piece of shit. I think it's so bad and it's junk, dude. It's like I was like, this has less power than my car. I'm like I'm trying to get it up to 60. I'm slamming on the slamming on it. Yeah, while I was driving it, two people happened to pull it in front of me. Oh, here's another thing: road rage. That's another topic we can get on. You pull out in front of me the U-Haul. Paul, you should have. I lost it on this Ontario driver. He pulled out in front of me, right near the Culvers. I just slammed on my brakes. I almost killed that Canadian fuck. So if you're out there, I'm looking for that guy. And then I'm like, oh my god, you ever have road rage, Paul? Do you deal with that? Is road rage
Yes.
an issue for you? Like, what's
Yes,
your road rage?
sometimes.
Do you just scream? What do you do? Because I know some people who are fucking actually psychos where they'll like be like, oh, I pull over and fight. You know, I don't do that shit. I at most do a finger flip in a scream, but I never roll the window down to scream.
I
Right?
do a
What do you?
finger flip. Okay, so I'll usually like flip people out. Oh, you know what I've been doing is like the thumbs down because I think that's so
The Woody.
funny.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Woody.
yeah.
That's what I call that. Yeah, yeah.
But see, I have a car that doesn't have the great, like it has working AC, but it doesn't work well. So on like really, really hot days, it doesn't keep up. So I have all the windows down. I've had it where people put their windows down and yell at me, and I
Yeah.
have my windows down so I can hear them. And don't get me
You have to.
wrong, there were a few times where if I was in their lane, I would have fucking followed them and gotten out of my car and had a talk with them. You know, like if
Yeah.
I was in the right mood, you have to understand I'm in a car that's got no AC. It's 90 degrees out and humid. I'm getting back from boxing. I'm sweaty. I'm hot. I just want to get home. And then somebody has the audacity to cut me off and then roll down their windows and fucking yell at me like it's happened before. And I don't know. I've had a couple times where like I wanted, or maybe like there was one time where I did follow a guy for like 2 blocks and just rode his ass to kind of scare him, and then he sped up and left. And I was
Mhm.
like, okay, I wasn't gonna actually like do anything, but it was just kind of
Yeah.
like nice to give him a little fear, which is probably a little psychotic, but
Do that. Yeah, my friend did that, and I was like,
it's a good
"Bro,
way to get
you are a
shot.
psycho." It is a good way to get shot. Yeah, unless you yourself have a gun, probably don't do
Yeah.
that.
When I
Yeah.
was in my first car, it was like 6 months after I got my license. Some guy cut me off. It was clearly his fault. And so I honked at him and flipped him off. He followed me, rode my ass all the way from Proctor, where I was, nearly back home. I didn't go home because he was following me and I didn't want him to know where I lived. So I just kept circling around Woodland until he fucked off.
Jesus,
He literally
that sucks.
followed me like for 40 minutes riding my ass and he cut me
Mm.
off. And I'm like, damn, dude, if I would have gotten out, this guy probably would have gotten out. It might have been a problem.
Yeah, well, yeah, it would have been a problem. Would have been a
Yeah.
problem that ended with his head cracked open. Yeah, did I ever tell you about driving back from the cities one time? This was in the morning. I think this might have been after the Black Dahlia and Bones thing we went down to. The guy that slammed on his brake going towards we're going 70 miles an hour. He stopped on the highway, dead stopped, and got out of his truck with me and James, and we had no idea what this guy was like freaking out about. But that was like what the fuck. And I was still driving, and he got out of his truck and like slammed on his brakes, so we had to stop. And I just zoom up to like 80, and I was like, if we see this guy again, we're gonna hit him. And so lo and behold, we see him again, and he does the same exact thing. This time he does it on the off exit ramp to Hinkley, because we're going to Hinkley. I don't know, take a piss or whatever. He somehow gets in front of us again because he followed us all the way to Hinkley. Does the same thing, gets out of his car, but this time I didn't stop, and I go 50, and I'm like, James, I could do it. You know I could do it. Just,
Yeah.
just, just that. That's all I need to get this guy out of my
You don't
path.
you don't understand though that your car would probably go with his. Like it could get caught. It would just
No, No, he wasn't. He got out of his car and he was walking on the road. Like he
Oh,
was in the middle
oh,
of the
okay.
road.
So you would have
Turn off.
clipped
Yeah.
him. Oh my
Great.
god,
Oh,
just kill him.
oh, dude, going 50, dude, he would have been done. I mean, he would have
Yeah.
shattered our windshield, but he would have been done. With my luck, his shoe would have went through the windshield and cracked my head open. That's fucking my
Oh
luck.
my
He ends up
god.
killing me at collateral. But yeah,
Um,
it's just that motion, just this. But
like, so
thankfully, I
like
didn't.
so like road rage, I feel like it's the best of all of us because we're really susceptible to not to just looking at the car as an object and not that there is a living human being and probably multiple
Mhm.
inside that car that you don't know like what they're going through, their mental health state, all that stuff. So like, I deal with road rage time to time. It's definitely not as bad as it was when I was younger and, had more testosterone. It was just kind of more like adrenaline rush freak, whatever, growing kid. Um, but what I also don't like is like the people that start road rage when it's like clearly their fault. So like I have an example. I was coming back from boxing and I was on the highway and I was on the bridge and there are a ton of people in the right lane and there was a guy in the left lane going like 10 under and he was brake checking me,
Mhm.
clearly flipping me off. And it's like, dude, there are clearly openings in the right lane. Just go in the right lane as you're supposed to. Left is the passing lane. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And he just got a big head about it. And it's like, that was the guy where I wanted to like follow him if he was in the, because he's the one that rolled down the window and said something to me while he was in the other lane where he was safe before I could even merge over and get to him because he knew he was safe.
Before I could get.
But that's the thing though, dude. You never know who the person is. They have a gun. Like, are they a fucking psycho? Will they blast me if I just step out of my fucking car, even though I didn't do anything to them? Like, you never know.
I don't want to get.
Um,
Do you have any? No guns, no knives. Pull over. We'll fight. Do you have a man with you you can fight? Do you have a son or a nephew? Fucking Sean Strickland. I love that video. He's like,
yeah.
pull over. No guns, no knives.
And, they say boxing teaches you to be humble. And I feel like it does at a certain extent, but it really depends on the person. And for me, I had just gotten out of boxing class where I was like, just got done sparring. And all I wanted to do was follow that guy, get out of my car, and just beat the fucking shit out of him, like so bad.
Yeah.
And I knew I could because he was a really old guy, but it's like that doesn't justify anything. Like I'd be a piece of shit for doing that, even though he was in the wrong. There's just no reason to escalate something like that to violence. But it's just super easy for us, our stupid, dumb animal human brains, to just associate it as an object. We don't really think about the person. That's what you have to stop and do. Like whenever you find yourself about to like honk on your horn or do something terrible or say something terrible at your window or flip a gesture, it's like, okay, that person just clearly made a mistake. Who knows what they're going through. And sometimes I catch myself, but sometimes if I'm in a really fucking bad mood, I don't catch myself.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. So I was already pissed. This happened after. Remember the U-Haul? I said the Canadian guy pulled out in front of me. Well, I'm driving my car now. This is later in the day. I'm driving my car, and some lady pulls out in front of me. Like she pulls out in front of me. There's nothing I could do but slam on my brakes. She 100% fucked up. I went from 0 to 100 the quickest I've ever been, and I was with D, and I think I might have scared her a little bit, honestly, because I was like, oh, dude, I honked on my horn, I start flipping. I'm like, fuck you. I had my window open at this point. I'm like, fuck you, you stupid fucking cunt. Fuck you. I'm flipping her off. And this is right next to, Paul, this is right next to Freiburger. There were kids fucking playing right over there. Like, you dumb cunt. And she looks at me, she's like, oh, it's some stupid fucking, dumb Guido bitch with the big brim hat. And, she's got claws in her hands. I think I could see. Yeah, no, fuck that lady. That pissed me off. But I couldn't catch myself. I have never went from 0 to 100 so quick. It had to been 1 second.
Yeah.
And as soon as I'm done, I drive away. 10 seconds later, I'm like, so anyway, yeah, about this game. Halo, really great game. I just start talking about whatever I was talking about. And D's like, do you not just like it's just now I'll catch myself in the future, but that one pissed me off because I legitimately had to take on my brakes there.
Yeah, I scared Destiny like definitely at least once, maybe twice with like road rage in the way past. We've been together a long time. It was way like earlier in our relationship. But I kind of lost my train of I lost my train of thought on road rage, but it's also where was I gonna go with this? I had a really good point here. Oh, I've noticed so with other people that get mad, whether I'm with them or somebody is mad at me, it's almost equivalent to like Xbox lobbies back in the day where people go from 0 to straight up calling me racial slurs and I'm not even said race. Like, I've had people that maybe I made a mistake and I clearly am like, oh, like, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I maybe accidentally cut someone out. It happens. We all make mistakes driving. Nobody's perfect. And I've had someone like call me the N-word before, and I'm just like, good God, like 0 to 100 straight to the gamer words, dude. They're just calling me slurs that I'm not even associated with. It's still hurtful. I'm like, God, dude, that's so mean.
It's still hurtful. It calls you an N-word. I had someone call me the N-word. Man, it fucked with my head. I was like, I finally get it. I don't like this either. I don't like this. He's like that. You had an epiphany. You were like, I gotta stop being racist.
No, that's
all didn't have
terrible.
to happen to him. Like this at all.
But no, I realized that. I was like, God damn, these people really went to like COD lobby shit, like super personal, really offensive.
Why was the white person? Was it a white person that called you the N-word?
Yes.
That's fucking awesome. Oh my God. That is great. You fucking, oh my God. That's awesome. That's the greatest thing ever. I want to shake that guy's hand. If you get him on that, get that guy on the cast.
That guy's a piece of shit.
He is a piece of shit. Holy fuck, that's funny. He calls you. Hey, I called him an N-word. I was like, I was dumbfounded. I'm like, that's not even for me. I don't think I could be called that.
Yeah.
No, hanging out with black people, you will, even as Josh and Lee, they will call you the N-word quite a bit of times. The amount of times I've been called the N-word, tally up. I got my list somewhere around here.
I have as well. You know how Nick Rochefort says like he loves guns, but he could just never have one or carry one because there might just be a point in time where he'd get so mad he'd use it. And honestly, dude, that is a reason why I don't have my conceal and carry. And I may still get it someday, but it's gonna be like if I feel comfortable way in the future, because that's one thing I worry about is like, what if I get into that bad state of mind again, road rage, and I do just want, like I don't even want to have the option of the gun being there.
Don't say that. Don't say that on the cast. Paul would never do this in any situation.
No, I wouldn't. But no, let's talk about. I just say I'm relate to Nick. It's like I probably would. I probably like say I had my conceal and carry, something happen. I probably would never do something, but still, it's like I could see how somebody could be in a bad mood. All the stars align. You're pissed. You have the ability to end a conversation in seconds. Like, not good.
Yeah, that's not good.
And I don't want to have that option. And not that I'd ever probably cross that line. I don't think I ever would, but it's just like I don't want to give myself that option.
Yeah, the state deemed me mentally unfit to own a gun, so I have no comment on that, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, it would just be bow, 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 bow. My boyfriend's 6'5" and benches 300 pounds. He'll whoop your ass. Yeah, that's it. No, guns and road rage, fun things. This is great. It's a great podcast.
Right off the bat, we should probably go to song of the week though. What do you got?
Well, mine to be a little longer because I did go see Primus. So I just kind of want to touch on that conch a little bit.
Yeah,
so maybe if you want to talk about yours real quick.
Oh,
or if you want me to go.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy. So, as I work from home, I'm trying to figure out different things to make. Working from home can get old over time. You're in the same spot. There is a morning routine, but it's not at, like commuting. And so I work in my office and I've been trying to think of like, what are ways I can change up the day? Kind of from like the mundane, I have to do this, I have to do that, even if the tasks are different. And so like one thing I'm going to try next week is I'm going to try working from a coffee shop or something, or even try just like working from another room in the house, just for like a couple hours even, just to kind of switch things up. But aside from that, I'm like, man, I do sometimes play music, but not often enough, I feel. And I was like, what is some music I could play that doesn't have lyrics that would distract me and I could still focus on things, but it's like I could keep on a quiet level of like sound and still enjoy it. And so I found like these 1 to 2 hour, sometimes 3 hour long videos where somebody had taken some of the Oblivion video game soundtracks or Halo and turned them into lo-fi beats. Yeah. So I turned those on and put them on really low volume and been listening to that. So I don't really have any like song in particular, but just look up like lo-fi Oblivion soundtrack. You'll find it. It's got like an Imperial soldier sitting by a campfire is like the little animation. And I just turned that on low, and it's been kind of nice to like have some sound going that doesn't have lyrics, just some like cool, like medieval style, just folksy video game music and like a lo-fi style. It's good. I like it. It's been peaceful and helps me kind of focus a little bit too.
I listened to some of the song you sent me or that video. Yeah, it's songs you could have sex with an elf to is pretty much how I would say, or an elf. You know what I mean? Anyway, no, I like that type of stuff. You should get into Simpsons vaporwave, Paul. You ever listen to vaporwave? Simpsons?
I did. That's like a little too.
Yeah, you like that? You don't like the sad Simpsons lo-fi? I like Simpsons lo-fi. I'm a fan of Oh man, there's another lo-fi I listen to, but yeah, just chilling out and not having to think about the lyrics is the best. If you're looking for something, I guess because it seemed like what you're trying to do is like, switch up the workday a little bit. Yeah, working from a coffee shop and like a different place in the house, I think could definitely change it up a lot. I would even try if I were you. This works well for me. Is white noise? You ever try white noise at all? So
I
go and
haven't.
just go on YouTube and go to white noise and just listen to a bunch of them and see. You might find one that you really connect with, and you're like, damn, this is like awesome. Like, because I found a white noise that like brings you back to my childhood. That shit makes you fall asleep so quick. Makes you like feel like a little baby sleeping. Because it's literally like the exact same sound mom would play as we were like children.
Oh yeah.
To make us fall asleep. So I found that as an adult, and it just puts me to sleep real quick. It's weird. It's like the Pavlo dog thing, dude. Like if you play that white noise,
Yeah.
I can't. It's like
You
literally
get
my
tired.
fucking weakness. I can't tell someone about it. Yeah, they play it, I'll pass out. They're gonna, I'm weakless against it.
One thing I'm
But yeah,
gonna try is actually working for mom and dad's. Just to go over there
yeah.
for the day, middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
change it
the
up.
Colvin, get some work done. You should go to the batting cages and get some work done. I think that'd be good. Sit in the
Go to
batting cage.
yeah, go do laser tag, and I have my laptop.
Yeah, you'd be kind of. It should look really cool in there. I'd be like, "Who's that guy at the lap? Don't shoot him, dude. He's good at this game." People would think you're good at the game. You're in there with the laptop laying. No, it's sick. It's like, Paul, why are you vibrating? You keep vibrating after you get shot, dude. You know what? You know what's something that we still change topic. Not want to go too far off gear here, but or track rather. I want to play laser tag so bad in this adult. Is there an adult laser tag room? I don't want any children though. I don't want anyone under age 18 in there.
Well,
We
you
need
can
to find an adult laser tag.
well, there won't be, not in this area,
Not
and I don't even
this.
know. And here's the deal: is I don't even know an adult laser tag could stay open. You almost need to allow all ages for it to
Well,
be
I guess
profitable.
maybe an after hours after 9 p.m. adults
Well,
only.
you
Get
could
some
always just
tag.
invite a bunch of friends and go to the one that's local.
I know I probably will do that at some point, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to keep gunning down the same 6-year-old because he sucks at the game, and I have to feel bad about shooting him in his face. And I'm gonna keep shooting him. I'm just gonna give him a chance, Paul. I'm gonna put on a black hoodie. I'm gonna walk in there. I'm gonna ruin these kids' life. Remember when people would do that?
Yeah.
Laser tag. Assholes would put on black hoodies over the vest and they just sit in a corner and shoot you, and you couldn't even hit them. That's
Well,
bullshit.
you know what we should do is maybe for your birthday next year, we rent out the Carnival Thrills laser tag for like an hour or two, and then we go do that. That'd be kind of fun. And invite
Yeah,
everybody you know, and whoever wants to come
Carnival,
comes. And
Carnival Thrills is a throwback there.
or yeah, what's it called? Adventure Zone now.
Yeah, no, I still call it
Carnival
Carnival
Thrills
Thrills.
when it was good and it had actual prizes. No arcades have real prizes anymore. You know,
No.
inflation's a problem when the arcades got shit rewards.
They always had shit rewards. You get that little paper Chinese finger trap. You get your
No,
fingers
I'm
all
talking like,
in it.
dude, you could get like a PS3, you could get a scooter. Now, don't get me wrong, it was a lot of tickets and it was hard to get there,
Mhm.
but it was possible.
It was never possible. That is a lie. I don't believe that. Yeah, spend $8,000 on tickets and you can get a $400 PlayStation 3.
Hey, where do we
One game.
find? Do you remember when we hit the jackpot at Chuck E. Cheese and we got those ridiculous Chuck E. Cheese balls we had for a really long time? They were like these.
Those are cool.
The listeners, there were these huge rubber ball. Like it was
Yoga
this.
balls.
It was big. It was like yeah, but it wasn't like. It was a yoga ball, but it wasn't as thin. It was like a thick rubber.
It was
and
thick,
dude,
dude. That
the
thing was really
sound,
thick.
the sound they made when you hit somebody with it or you kicked it, it was like ba-dung, like dude, you would go. It would like actually have some force behind it. I wonder if we
Okay.
can find a similar ball to that. I
Well,
want to
yeah,
buy
'cause
one of those.
what they were for the listeners, I guess, is just a big yoga ball. It was branded. It was blue and it had a Chuck E. Cheese logo on the side, but it wasn't like a yoga ball some like mom would use in the studio. It was like
Yeah,
an
it
actual
wasn't
like
thin and it
play
wasn't
ball.
ribbed. It was smooth.
It was something that they knew you were gonna whip at your sibling's head. They knew that. They were like, "We gotta reinforce this thing and make it hard." And it was like tough rubber, man. That thing would hurt. I remember when we popped one. I'll never forget this. Our dog Lacey jumped on top of it as it rolled down the hill, and she got sucked under it and got rolled over twice. And then her teeth popped in or whatever. And she popped on it and rolled out of it. It was right there. It was literally 30 feet away from the outside. I'll never forget that when she jumped on top of it and rolled over like twice, dude. Crushed that 10-pound dog, this big ass ball. and it popped, and that was the end of it. That was the end of those. But it
Dude,
feels like they last a long time.
oh, they did. They're really durable. I remember we'd put them on the trampoline and we'd kick them at each other like full force and be
Yeah,
like, but dunk it. Dude, you would get like whomped by them.
you get fucked. Me and mom, or I guess, excuse me and my sister Mary would beg our mom to get us yoga balls. And she's like, "What do you need them for?" And we'd fill them up until they're like, fucking dude, before like they're about to pop. Like
They're
you touch the
turgid.
star,
They're just stiff.
yeah. Yeah, they're like, yeah, you can't. We just whip them at each other, dude, and fuck you up. That's good times, man. That's good times. Yeah, shout out Chuck E. Cheese. I just saw Chuck E. Cheese. I didn't know they had them. They were in one was in
There's
Minneapolis.
still a few. I think there's still some around. Yeah.
Might have to get day drunk at a Chuck E. Cheese and go hustle.
I
on
wonder if they
skee-ball.
still have that ball. Do you guys still have that ball? Can I just buy it cash?
Can I just buy? Yeah, they
Or
won't
do I
let you
really
buy
have to,
cat.
yeah, do I have to go fuck with the
Hold on,
tickets?
hold on. Can I look up Chuck E. Cheese? Okay, maybe not Chuck E. Cheese balls, but maybe Chuck E. Cheese ball.
Chuck E.
Maybe
Cheese.
that.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese
No,
ball. Just look it up.
these are all like small. Like there's none of the because it was just blue. It was like a dark navy blue, and it was giant yoga ball, and it had a Chuck E. Cheese symbol on the side. I can't find it. Doesn't exist. Any of those who had a childhood will remember these. You like had to fill it up. Yeah, they're plush balls, sports and toys. Pitball incident. What the hell is this? Wait, there's an incident that happened? What the fuck is
What do
this?
you
Well,
mean
anyway,
what do you mean there's
I
an
just
incident?
I just looked at a Reddit link and it says reflections on a 1992 Chuck E. Cheese ball pit incident. What happened in the ball pit? Someone put a fucking python in that or something? What the fuck? Is there too long didn't read? I have to know. I have to know.
Dude, you cannot find them. They
Can't find them.
straight up like don't exist. Wait.
We'll have to do a deep dive.
Wait.
Bing will get where you need to go. Do you find them?
It's rare. It's rare. It's rare. $50 or best offer, brand new in the box with the pump on eBay.
No way. They came with the pump, dude.
It's a super 30-inch ball, air pump. Dude, this guy has one for sale.
Dude, we might be buying a Chuck E. Cheese ball for the studio or something. A big old
Somebody,
cheese ball.
yeah, we better buy it before this gets posted.
Oh shit! Yeah, someone's gonna snap. Yes, all those people are hunting for that ball, dude. It's been posted for 10 years on eBay. He's like, someday I'm gonna buy that.
I'll
Paul,
put the link below in the topic list here in case you're interested.
A little off gear here. We got a little Chuck E. Cheese. We got a Chuck E. Cheese talking. We haven't touched on that in a while, so it's good we got a Chuck E. Cheese topic. I kept bringing the topic down for years. Chuck E. Cheese. I'll do my song of the week. Well, Paul's was some lo-fi Oblivion. Mine's a little different. I had the chance. I mean, for those who are listeners of the show, you know, I saw Primus last Friday. Their co-headliner was Coheed and Cambria, and they opened with Too Many Zoos. You know, great fucking show, man. Paul, you should have went. Should have been there. It's awesome. It's great.
I know.
Too Many Zoos was a kind of like a brass jazz band from New York. I can't say I was super impressed with them at all. Honestly, to me, jazz all sounds the same. Terrible. And I won't have any of it. Here's the thing. And this might be really they were good, but it's the type of act that you'd see in a high school gymnasium for like what do you call it, inner city kids. Like they're like, hey, look, you don't need to sell crack, you can play jazz instead. And then you know, and they do the horn and shit. That's literally what type of act they have. And they're like, you know, you can go to school, you don't need to hustle and sell crack like your mama. That's the type of band they were. So I wasn't really impressed with them. They played far too long. Paul, how long do you think is reasonable for a jazz set? A 3-person jazz set? Anything over
I've heard,
20
you know, it's funny because I've actually heard of Too Many Zoos. They went viral on YouTube, like.
Really?
Yeah, like, I don't know. Dude, it had to have been while I was in high school. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong band or group, but how long for a jazz set? I don't know. I mean, it depends on how much you like jazz. I don't mind jazz. I could go for it a couple hours, but considering they're an opening act, maybe like 40 minutes.
No. You do not listen to jazz for a couple hours. That's like Louis Armstrong territory. We just snap and kill your whole family like he did. You know, don't do that.
Is that what he did?
Yeah.
I don't think he snapped and killed his whole family.
Who am I thinking of? I don't know. Anyway, that's too long for jazz. And they were interesting. It was kind of funny. The saxophone player was the only one that like actually did anything worthy of a performance. The trumpet player was just standing still the whole time. But the saxophone player was like a skinny little white dude, and the saxophone was like almost bigger than they are. So I imagine, I don't know how heavy a saxophone is, but I wouldn't be surprised.
They're decently heavy. I played one for a short amount of time in 5th grade.
This person was like Corey Trevor from fucking Trailer Park Boys skinny. Like their arms are so skinny and their saxophone was bigger than they are, but they were doing a lot of like foot dancing, like shuffling and stuff. That was cool. And that's what only made it impressive because they were so skinny and that thing was probably extremely heavy. So I was like giving props to that. Otherwise, didn't blow me away. Second act that went on before Primus was Coheed and Cambria. Didn't listen to them much before the show. I didn't really like them. Came out of the show a bigger fan than I was before. They blew me away, Paul. These guys are fucking awesome. Like you have to go
Okay.
listen to Coheed and Cambria. I
So
really
they're called, what are they called? Coheed and Cambria?
Yeah, Coheed and Cambria. That's the name. Yeah, it's one band, dudes. They're like, dude, they're all like they all look like thrash. Well, one of them, the drummer sucks, by the way. That guy's terrible. They all look like thrash metal artists. They look like Dave Mustaine and shit with the hair and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're singing like kind of poppy 2000 songs. They've been around since the early 90s, I think. Really cool. You, Paul, if you look up the singer, you're gonna be like, is this a woman or is this a girl? And you're gonna be like, no, it's actually a very like I think he's like a native guy, but he's got like a very high pitched voice. He sounds like it's kind of similar to Geddy Lee, and like, or if you didn't know, if you listen to Geddy Lee's, if you listen to Tom Sawyer by Rush without knowing who Rush was, you'd think Geddy Lee was a woman. Everybody does. That's just the way it is. But it's not. This is the same way. You'd think this guy was like a woman, but it's like some big like black, kind of like mixed race guy, and he's like belting out these like very like almost Elmo like vocals where it's like very high pitched where you don't expect them to be like that, right? Blown away by them. I'm a huge fan. They have a song called Suffering. I can't get enough of Coheed and Cambria. Really great act. They play for about an hour. And then top it all off, Paul, Primus came on. Primus is Primus as always. Primus is the best act I've ever seen ever. This time around, they didn't blow me away as much as they did the first time I saw them, but they still put on an amazing fucking show. It was awesome. They played some deep hits. They play a new couple songs every single show. Like every single show, they play a different song. And Paul, guess what? We just happened on this show. This is the first time they played any Rush in this entire tour. They played 20 shows. The first time they play Rush happened to be at our show. They play Cygnus X1. I knew because Cygnus X1 from Farewell to Kings, it starts with that opening where it's just very silent and very faint, like humming, and it's like kind of like a ship whirling. And as soon as I heard it, I was like that SpongeBob where he's in the crowd going, "Yeah, Mr. Krabs!" I was like freaking out. No one knew what I was freaking out about because I heard like 10 seconds of that song, and they did Cygnus, blow me away, dude. They were so good. I loved it.
That's awesome.
They brought out Alex Lifeson's signature guitar. I could tell it was his Lex Gibson. I think fucking Les probably had Geddy Lee's Fender. I think that's what he used to record at that time. And yeah, that blew me away. Primus is always a great show. Paul, when you see Primus, you're like, you know, in the music videos where he's kind of like hitting the bass, he's like slapping it. That's how he plays, and you're like, what the fuck? Just seeing him, he did My Name Is Bud. And he's like, bow, 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 bow. It's just a great show. Primus is always really fun. It was really weird though. The last time I saw him, they bantered with the crowd like 3 or 4 times to stop the show just to banter, you know, be like, hey, look at this dickhead with the Rush shirt on. You do shit like that or whatever. He talked to the crowd for like 5 seconds. He's like, "Oh, XYZ, thanks for coming out tonight." And then when the show was over, they just got off and didn't say anything. Like just gone, like in seconds. Like
Huh.
the song is in, they're off the stage, and I was like, "Oh, I kind of wanted more banter from Les Claypool, a little more crowd interaction." But can't ask for everything. Go see Primus if you get a chance. They're fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
I need to. It's funny, like a lot. You know, I knew you and Weston were going, but then I found out like Lee from Drinker Jiu Jitsu was there, and like he's really into Primus. I didn't know that. Shout out Lee. We got to have him on the podcast sometime. He's well, he's basically an MMA coach, but he's I think he just got his purple belt too in Jiu Jitsu, which is pretty cool. Because I think the jump, because I think it goes from blue to purple, right? And then you go from purple to brown and then black, and I think blue to. I think a lot of people stop at blue belt from what I remember. Like that's like where a lot of people just like
is that
quit practicing.
Jiu-Jitsu, right? You said Jiu-Jitsu, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Belt. Yeah, that's the real belt. Because isn't there like that fake karate? Like you can get a karate belt. Like I've heard of 80-year-old women getting a black belt, which means that's fake karate. Like that's not real.
Well,
like,
yeah, that's like
one in Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, like it's hard to say. I don't know the facets of how they tell. I think it's like I think it's based on time.
Time.
Like,
it is time, and like you have to test too, for sure.
Yeah. Well, like I don't know. I just think like if you show up like 5 days a week for 2 years straight and really try your hardest, I think you'll for sure get all the stripes and to get to a blue belt. But then if you show up for 5 years straight and you're still doing it and you're really showing improvement, you probably get to a purple. I don't know what the time frame or like what the skill is like.
I've definitely heard of some like one of those like Steven Seagal like fake martial arts where they just like give you it 4 times. You don't have to test. Like you should be able to have to test and know that you have the knowledge, right?
Well, yeah,
But
well, like for
I always hear
jujitsu,
black belt. I'm like, what kind of black belt though? Black
I
jujitsu though
know.
is legit. I feel like that's legit for sure.
Well, yeah, I don't know if there's like testing for it or whatever, but you got to assume that like a lot of it's like based on your master, your coach, like the head of the gym that
Mhm.
does have a black belt, the one that can issue you
Oh,
belts. Y-
you think they call him daddy? Think they call their dojo leader daddy?
No,
That's Lee. I'm gonna ask Lee that when he reminds you. Write that down. Hey Lee, what do you call your coach? Daddy, mommy? What are you using here? You think
but
that's
I
funny?
do really think it's based on like the discretion of the coach and what he's seen. Like, don't get me wrong. I think they said I heard somewhere maybe on Joe Rogan that like BJ Penn, who used to be in the UFC, was like one of the fastest people to progress in jiu-jitsu that he's ever seen. Like he
Mhm.
went from being like really garbage to really good in a matter of like a year, and he ended up getting his black belt in like 3 years or something ridiculous. And
Yeah,
it's like,
dude.
okay, well, did the coach really think that, or was this again one of those things where like the coach can just say what he wants and give a belt to whoever? I don't know. Something tells me though, like jujitsu, Muay Thai, those other like martial arts that are have belts and stuff like that. Maybe Muay Thai doesn't. I think they're a little more serious than your
It does.
hole in the wall mall karate studio that the dude teaches kids, right?
Yeah, that's like when I went to Pride in Minneapolis. I saw a little thing for like I don't know whatever self-defense class, and I knew it was fake because all the teachers were fat. So I was like, oh, they can't know. I don't know how to fight. I almost walked up there and been like, y'all trying to spar? What's going on here? Like, I got gloves in my trunk. Let's go. I was kidding. No, no, I knew that was some bullshit. That all the self defense is some bullshit. You think I could find like a really skeezy like dojo master or daddy, and I could just pay to get a black belt? Hey, give me a black belt. I could
I
just buy
mean,
one
you
on.
can just go order one online and say you're a black belt, but it's gonna be
You
pretty
fucking
hard to
asshole.
prove that you
That-
are.
that's like
Stolen
somehow
valor.
lower than
It's-
stealing Valor. No, that's like lower than stealing fucking
I
army
don't
Valor.
think
Like,
it's
I gotta say,
lower.
you
I
don't
don't
think
think
it's
it's
really?
no.
No, I think it
You
is.
know what I really want is I want to buy the replica. UFC store has a replica UFC belt. It's like $1,000. It's the full belt. It isn't the
Stealing
real.
Valor. That's worse than
But
impersonating in a U.S.
no,
Army.
but it's not like I would hold. I mean, I'd hold it and fuck
I
around with it. But
know.
I think it'd be cool to like put it up on a wall in like a man cave and have a UFC belt. I think
It
that'd be
would be
really
cool.
cool.
No, that's definitely your vibe. Yep, for $10 and get a black belt. Hey, Paul, I'm a black belt. Check that shit. Check this shit out. I'll go beat your ass. No, I was kidding. No, that's like no, that is lower than us. No one cares about stealing Army Valor. We're past that. Paul, have I ever talked about like Dave Hopkins, the guy that exposes all these guys? I love that dude. He exposes all the fake Valor
Oh, I think
dudes.
you've told
Oh,
told
I
me about
love that
this.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely talked about him. But yeah, go ahead, steal all the Valor you want. It's okay. No issues with that. We're about that. I got a great conspiracy theory this week, Paul.
What is it?
Want to get into that? Maybe you
Yeah.
know this one, and if you know it, I'll go a little quicker. But you might not hear this one. This pertains to you a little bit too. You're gonna like this. You're gonna like this a lot. So for those that don't know, in the past, I've done conspiracy theories. We're bringing them back full force. We're doing some conspiracy theories. Some made up, some are real. This one is real, Paul. Have you heard of the conspiracy theory that UFC referee Mike Beltran is a member of the Los Angeles Banditos deputy gang? Have you ever heard of this?
No, but I like Mike Beltran. He's the dude with the
Mike
really long
Beltran.
ponytail beard. And then,
He looks like a cartoon bulldog.
yeah, MMA promotions eventually made him tuck him in. He has to tuck the beard in now because it was like a distract. Dude, his beard ponytails go down to like his knees. It's crazy. But anyways, continue. Mike Beltran,
Talk about this. So
MMA ref.
Oh, I'm glad you know who he is. I knew you knew immediately who his name. So famous
Yeah,
UFC
he's
rep.
like on my he's on like my
Like,
top 5 of refs.
this conspiracy theory is credit of Valo on MMA through Twitter, and I say conspiracy theory because once you read through this all, you're like, this isn't a conspiracy theory. This guy actually did this shit. So let's talk about this. So, before refereeing, right? He was known for being a deputy in East LA. Miguel Beltran. He's been with the sheriff's department since he was
Whoa,
19.
hold on. So he was a cop,
He was a cop. Yep.
and you
Before
just say did you say Miguel?
Yeah, Deputy Miguel Beltran. That's his name. That's his full
Is
name.
Mike Belt really? He goes. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Miguel's went by Mike, but I've just never heard
Mhm.
that.
And for those listening to, I'm gonna kind of just tell the pictures. I have pictures here. This is right now. I can see pictured him with his East LA sheriff's class, graduating class of 1995. He's pictured there next to them. Um, so do you know what like the Los Angeles Kings is, Paul? Have you ever heard of this?
Are they a gang?
Yeah, they're like the Los Angeles Police Kings who were known for like criminal stuff, like like planting evidence, sending people to jail and stuff. This conspiracy delves into that he was a part of that gang,
Oh my gosh,
and
yeah, I
it's
see it
pretty compelling.
everywhere. Yeah, so that okay. Are you sure? Oh, it is Miguel. What the fuck?
Yeah. Paul,
Okay.
sure, this guy on Twitter wouldn't lie to me. This guy knows. He's got pictures to back this shit up.
Okay,
Um,
okay. Continue. I'm
yeah,
interested.
yeah,
You got me hooked
yeah.
here. What's going on?
Okay. So, Los Angeles Sheriff Department is the largest sheriff department in the U.S. and it's notorious for having at least a half a dozen active deputy gangs. Um, they go by the names of the Executioners, the Banditos, the Regulators, the Spartans, the Gladiators, the Cowboys, the Reapers. Okay.
So these are
It
deputy gangs?
These are deputy gangs. Yep, this is a huge thing.
Okay.
There's documentaries and stuff on it.
Is it
It's
still
pretty interesting.
current? Are there
It's still
still
current.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say yes
This
from what I
sounds
read.
similar to the Shield, how they were kind
Mhm.
of like a gang.
Yeah,
Like
pretty
their
much
own
that is what I would
department,
say.
yeah.
Well, because the Shield is kind of not based off reality, obviously, but there are police gangs. It's a very real thing that does exist. It's known that Beltran worked at the same department that housed the Los Banditos gang. The article and lawsuit claims that Beltran helped organize an assault on a protester on a prisoner. Excuse me. Helped organize an assault on a prisoner named Solace. Beltran gave you up, punk, as they went and attacked somebody. So essentially, what happened is he purposely didn't protect this guy in prison and he knew it, and Beltram gave these other people full reign to go and beat this guy and kill him down, beat him down. And
And
one of the prisoners
I see they has a picture of like, or he has a tattoo of like something
of the gang.
related to, yeah.
Yeah, he has that tattoo of the gang on there. So pretty much as they're beating this guy half to death, the prisoners are shouting, Beltram gave you up, punk. He let us do this. He snitched and told us, that you're the one that ratted on us, right?
Yeah.
Um Uh, he denied the prisoner access to documents that allowed him to be separated from other gang members. So he purposely put him into Gen Pop with gangs rather than being segregated because they often segregate gang members, right? Because they don't want them together and shit. And there's a lot more. The lawsuit is real. Like that's a thing you can read up on, and there's a lot here. I don't want to read all of this because it is very, very detailed. Let's see here. Okay, so pretty much with the assault, let's see here. Mm, yeah, pretty much he was just like definitely not like helping this guy, was facilitating, somebody getting their ass beaten to death pretty much. When he during the lawsuit they ruled in favor of him. But yep, Beltram posts a picture of his injury, who many people saw us notice the tattoo to his arm, being deputy gang related, and it's pretty compelling. I mean, it's very, very
Wow, this
similar.
was a conspiracy theory like 3 years ago too. So it's been around for a
Yeah,
while.
kind of a little big deal. In order to get the LSAD gang tattoo, the deputy must commit a crime such as violating a citizen's constitutional rights, assault, use of excessive force, or to kill a civilian. That's a very real thing. And then pictured here is a flyer. It's literally a flyer for the gangs, like the executioners, and it's like officers must commit murder.
What
Must.
gang was he in? The Executioners?
No, he was in the Los Banditos and was not part of the executioners. Um, see here. He's friends with supporter of a former LA sheriff, Alex Veneva, who is known to downplay and reject the fact that there are deputy gangs in LA. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of like the most of it. It's kind of hard. I really wish I should have shared my screen and showed the pictures, but the pictures are pretty compelling, and I implore
There.
you all to do your own
Mike
research. But
Beltran. Yeah.
Mike Beltram was a member of the Los Banditos, an LA gang, and he either killed somebody, violated constitutional rights, or raped somebody to get into that gang. And that's the only way you get the tattoos. Maybe he just, hey, stolen valor. He stole valor, Paul. It's okay. He just got the tattoo because he thought it was cool, right? So he didn't do
Uh,
any of that. Mike Beltram.
I mean, that's pretty fucked up. Now I'm gonna look at him differently when I see him reffing.
Yeah, knowing that he was a piece of shit cop, planting evidence and shit. It's pretty much real life Shield. That's actually what happened. That was based off
Yeah,
him.
real life she is based off him. I mean, he is kind of bald. Yeah, he's bald like Michael Chiklis. So
Yeah, it could be Michael Chiklis, yeah, and, he's, with his leather coat and stuff, he does look like kind of a piece of shit person. He does look like a piece of garbage. But yeah, that's my conspiracy theory for this week. I know this one was a little bit more, not as in detail as I kinda wanted it to.
well,
I think
Mike
it's
Beltran, if you're listening and somehow this circulates to you, come on the cast. Prove
come on
us
the cast,
wrong.
back to you. Prove us wrong. Prove your innocence. Or if he
prove us
doesn't,
right.
oh, if he doesn't come on the podcast, it means he's 1,000% innocent. So you better get on this podcast, man. But yeah, I'm gonna try to come back with conspiracy theories every week. This one wasn't as much a conspiracy theory as it is true. Maybe I'll come next week with some vampire conspiracy theories or like AIDS conspiracy theories. You know, AIDS not real, Paul. Did I ever tell you what AIDS isn't a real thing?
No.
But ever hear about that?
No.
Next week.
Next week?
That's a treat. That's a treat for next
Okay.
week.
The Xbox 360 store is officially closed last Monday.
That day. I didn't even really give a fuck.
Well, you want to know why I'm bummed about it? So like I put in every game and checked the DLC, and I didn't check Oblivion because I was like, oh, I know I have every DLC. And then of course after the store closed, I was like, oh, cool, I'm missing like ones that don't matter, right? Like Horse Armor, Maroon's Dagon Razor. But it's like, damn it, I would have just bought those. But no, it's a sad day. You know, it's not the end of it. You can still play your Xbox 360. You can still connect to the internet for games that have servers up. You can still play on Xbox Live. But it's just kind of sad to see the dashboard now, because when you're connected to the internet, it's only got like 3 slides on it now. They've completely removed like everything related to the store and TV apps.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's super
They
minimalistic.
moved to 10 pages of ads. Did you miss 10 pages of ads?
No, but it's just kind of like, it just seems empty. You know, it's super empty. You know, I copped various arcade games that you won't be able to get anymore. What I could get, DLCs for games like Sleeping Dogs, which I really enjoy. And I don't think they ever made a definitive edition for Xbox 360. So there really isn't a version on disc you could get with the DLCs. Like you had to get them from the store. And there are a ton of games like that. There are probably a ton of games too, like even Skate 3, where like, damn, I probably should have went and bought DLCs, but it's like,
oh, fuck.
You know?
God damn it, Paul. That's the one game. There's only one game on my Xbox, and it's Skate 3. Fuck me. Wait, if backwards compatible, oh, fuck. Can I?
You can, no, on your Xbox.
Buy it? I think I can buy it on Xbox
So
One,
since you can play Skate 3 on the new Xboxes, you can buy the DLCs and play them on your new Xbox.
That's what I thought. Okay, I'm going to go buy DLCs after this cast then, because it's literally the only game I have installed. I'll play that. I love the game.
By the way, did you ever find the 360 games you have?
Yeah, actually, I know where they are. I just never. I think some of them are down in this bin, but some of them are in the basement. I'll go through them. Don't worry about it. If you come over one day and I'm sitting here and I'm not doing nothing, just tell me and I'll go down. They're just in the basement. Like I'll get you them. I'll go through. You have all of them that I have, but you can have them if you want them. I don't really give a fuck.
Well, I'll take a look.
I want all the Halos, but I think you pretty much have everything. But yeah, no, it is a sad day. Remember, it was a huge part of our lives, you know, growing up. It was so full of life back then when it came out. And
it was
so cold and dim. When did that come out? Do you know when the 360 launched? 2009? Earlier?
Oh,
5?
way earlier. Oh, way earlier. I think it was like 2004, 2005. You got it.
Okay, well, it's pretty close. Yeah, so that's a good run. That kind of seems early to just be like, all right.
Well, the PlayStation 3 store is the only console left of that generation that still has like a store open. I don't think the GameCube ever had a store.
A year
later. Or no, the GameCube wasn't in that gen. What am I thinking?
No, it wasn't. That was way, way before that. Yeah, it's a cold, cold day. You know, those who didn't buy their Avatar items. Shame on you, man. I got my goat. I got my little goat.
I've been addicted to Mercari. It's been a binge.
What? Isn't that like I always thought Mercari was equivalent to Wish, where you order something and it's like, oh, I ordered, I don't know, a controller and it comes all, you know, smashed into pieces.
No, you know, I like it better than eBay. I think it has a better interface than eBay even. So it's essentially eBay.
Is that where you can buy? That
and you
that
can
one,
like,
okay,
and you can do offers and stuff. And so like I kind of went on Mercari binge, honestly. You know, I bought Sleeping Dogs, Perfect Dark, Dark Souls. But you want to know 3 360 games I really want so bad on disc? First off, Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Great it's game. Like people want it for like $90 for 360 because they know you can't get it anywhere else. Another couple games is like they made games that were disc only, such as Dark Souls. You couldn't buy them in the store. That one was cheap. But I really want the Simpsons game and Family Guy Back to the Multiverse, but they still want like $60 to $80 for them because they you can't get them anywhere else. Like that's it, you know.
It's a meme now, dude. I'll never forget Spider-Man Web of Shadows. This was like a week before Video Vision closed in our neighborhood, and I begged my parents, do not make me return Spider-Man Web of Shadows because they're closing anyway. Mom and Dad made me bring it back, and then the store closed the next day.
Supposedly the game was pretty good.
It was fun. I remember Dude, there's like a huge. There was different things you play as Noir Spider-Man, so it was like black and white, and then you go into the jungle and fight Craven. It was a good game because they just jumped reality, so you could fight all different types of villains and play all the
Yeah.
Spider-Man. It's a fucking awesome game. I love that game.
Yeah. And so, you know, and I also picked up 2 working controllers. By the way, man, I had a very tough time finding look in okay condition controllers for a reasonable price on Mercari and eBay. I bought them both off Mercari, but the one of them I got was rebuilt. Like this guy had completely rebuilt a white controller with new joysticks, buttons, and everything. It feels like new. I'm still waiting on the blue one I ordered. I didn't care about colors. It's just like at a certain point, Ruby, I was like, I just need to find controllers that work. So many of them are broken or like the nubs are all taken off and they just didn't withstand the test of time. And I went and looked for PS3 controllers too, even though I don't have a PS3, to see if because they were the same gen, to see if like, oh, those aren't around either. And they're really expensive. So it's just crazy how, like, in my opinion, the 360 controller was one of the best ones ever made. Had a really crappy break-in period though, in my opinion. Like it took a while to get them kind of broken in. But it's just wild how tough they were to find for not a ridiculous price if they were in good condition.
Mm-hmm. People are that shit's going up because people are bastards about it, and they
Yeah.
know that they can charge a lot.
But I
Yeah,
bought everything you could possibly get Oblivion for 360. I got the
I-
Steelbook. I got the collector's edition. I got limited edition posters, Amulet of Kings replica. I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy all this because I'll want it. And I like collecting that stuff. So
a little retail therapy, good for you.
uh, it depends. Usually when I do this, the next day I'm like, God, why did I do that? Every time.
Oh, that's retail therapy. Yeah, that is the
Yeah.
point. Yeah, that's like me and my crack addiction. It's like I love smoking crack, but the day after I'm like, ugh, why did I do that? But then again, I'm back on that saddle. I had to go to Bakari. I had to go look up Rush Band, and you know what I found? A vintage Rush belt buckle. For 15.
Yeah.
God,
That.
I'm
Hey,
like,
the shipping's where they get you. Get off Mercari. It's bad. It's bad news.
Is where they get you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's $4 delivery fee. What's the shipping? $100.
Okay.
It's from Maryland. It can't be that much. It's coming from Marilyn Manson's house. No, I'm gonna go on there and look at all the Russian Wallace and Gromit memorabilia. That's what someone asked me the other day. They're like, "What would you like if someone got you a gift?" There's like wondering, and I'm like, anything Rush or Wallace and Gromit related, you can't go wrong. Even if you give me the same Rush CD, it's probably a different pressing than I have, so I won't be upset. And so that's keep that in mind, Paul. Give me something Wallace and Gromit. I'm down on my toys. I need more toys. Tools, my tools.
Speaking of retail therapy though, did you see Hasbro yesterday released a replica wearable Green Goblin helmet from the 2002 Spider-Man and the grenades, and they light up and make noise?
Pumpkin bombs?
Yeah, Ruby, I'm not even joking you. I went on there right when they dropped for pre-order. Within seconds, completely sold out. You can, and they're not even shipping till January.
Like they're like supposed to like be for like kids, right? Like couldn't you wait here? Just hear me out. Can't you just go onto like Etsy and find someone that made one infinitely better and pay twice the amount? Right?
Yes, you can. Well, the reason why I was also not even keen to buy it if I was able to grab one was it doesn't talk. If I were to buy that, I would want it. Okay, this is what I would have done. If I would have bought it, because it comes with a stand, I would have put it in my living room. I would have bought a cheap Raspberry Pi and hooked up a motion sensor to it. And I would have programmed all the voice lines that Willem Dafoe's echoed. And then every time you walked in front of it in your house, you'd just be like, coward. It would randomly play one of the voice lines. And I thought that'd be so fucking funny. I thought that'd be so fucking badass to have in my house. But as soon as I refreshed on the pre-order, they're already gone. Like even the grenades. Did you find it on Hasbro?
I'm looking at the picture of it, and yeah. You could just buy a more expensive, better one. For sure, like someone handmade. I suppose somebody already.
Sure, you could find a 3D printed Green Goblin helmet. You know.
Yeah, you could definitely. Yeah, I'd rather have the Hobgoblin. I don't like this helmet design that much. It doesn't really remind me of the Spider-Man 1. It looks like the Spider-Man No Way Home one.
I think it is. I think that's what it is.
It is. It does say No Way Home. Nope. It's like we had to take out Spider-Man. Every time you walk by, it's like the singing fucking. I think it'd be scary as fuck. Dude, William Dafoe is
in
that?
the middle of the night, you go to the bathroom, you hear coward, and the helmet's right over it. It's dark.
You're pulling your fucking hair out. It's talking to me. Jesse won't believe you. Ah! You're screaming. No, I want the bomb, dude. No, it's not a pumpkin bomb, granted, but that bomb is cool as fuck.
Yeah, it actually lights up. That one actually lights up and makes noise, I think.
Dude, that shit was so brutal when he throws the bomb in the first one and all those dudes turn skeletons, just fucking ice him,
Yeah.
dude. And so he's like, his cackle, dude. Spider-Man. I don't remember all his lines. He's like, uh, we have to kill this Spider-Man. I love
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
badass. Such a badass actor. No, that's cool. I kind of wish I had that. I mean, dude, I saw something else that I was gonna buy. I've been seeing a lot of stuff I want to buy, but mostly I just want to buy tickets to concerts that I can't go to. You know, like damn, so bad. The only thing that's preventing me is not having a car that I trust taking to it. Otherwise, I'd go to this Maryland.
I
Manson.
still don't know if I'm going to Creed.
I don't know if I'm gonna go to Creed. I will. Maryland Manson is in August, and I'm to be like the end of
So is
August.
Creed.
I'm about to just go buy fucking tickets and just see if my car doesn't explode on the way there because I really, really want. He's headline. It's just him. It's just him.
Where is it at?
It's in Green Bay. It's quite a drive. So the only thing
I would not make that trek.
I'm not
If it was
taking
the
it.
cities, maybe.
I'm not taking it.
Does Dee have a car?
No, she doesn't have a car. But no, I really want to go see them. And then King Diamond just announced a tour. I'm not a huge fan of King Diamond. You know who that is, right? You listen to King Diamond?
No.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, Joe and Sam are big on them, but they announced a tour with Overkill. Overkill is like the top original 1980 thrash bands. Like they're they're part of the reason why Metallica and Megadeth are around is Overkill was there, and they were going on tour with them. And I just want to see Overkill so bad, and I can't make a trek out to that. And I'm like, damn, I'm so sad. There's like so many shows I want to go to. That's like the worst thing. But I need some retail therapy. Need to buy some stuff. I haven't been buying anything. I've been good at saving though lately.
I've been so bad about spending, even though I have house
Lego
projects,
stuff.
which I know I have plenty of money. I know I have plenty of money for my house projects, but it's like, damn, it's like I really should have saved up so I ain't eating into like it's just like I really shouldn't have done that Mercari binge, but whatever. It's like at the end of the day, it's like it's bad to think about it this way at the time when you are doing retail therapy or buying yourself some stuff, but it's like at the end of the day, like as long as you're safe, comfortable, and have enough money for the next day, you're fine. And also like this shit ain't gonna do you any good in the grave. So like buy stuff that makes you happy, even if other people think it's dumb, because I don't think I'll ever have generational wealth. Would that be awesome? Yes, but like I don't, I hope to pass on some things to, when I pass away to my family or whatever. But like, at the end of the day, like money does you no good in the grave. And if they're buying a stupid little trinket or a toy or something makes you happy, even for like a day, it's not a bad thing. I feel capitalism.
No, I like that. Money won't do you any good in the grave. That's the truth. Preach it,
Yeah.
brother. It's all you can do.
Do you want to talk about movies and TV?
Oh, really? We're gonna talk about movies and TV. When have we done that before? I'm just kidding. No, I love movies and TV. That's like the greatest thing. I actually watched YouTube, one of those YouTube premium movies that they give you, and I can't remember what it was. But yeah, what have you been watching? Anything new? Always something new, Paul, on your horizons?
Yeah. So let's start. Okay, I'm gonna kind of go out of order here. The Boys season 4. I finished it. I saw the finale. It just seems that this show's increasingly getting worse. Like, it's a good show. Like, I would say, like, seasons 1 and 2, super good, 3, meh, and then 4 is, like, even more meh. Is it still, like, watchable TV? Yes, I do think it is, but I wasn't extremely impressed with the finale of season 4. I'm really hoping that they, that season 5, which I think might be the last season, is really, like, worth season 4 not being that great, hopefully. I rewatched a movie I had not watched in a while because when I first watched it years ago, I thought it was shit. And that movie is Looper. Did you ever see that one with Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
That movie's fucking awesome.
So I thought that movie sucked when I first saw it, and I never watched it again. And I saw it on some streaming platform, so I watched it the other day, and I was like, you know what? This movie's actually like not as bad as I thought it was. It's not like by any means like a top 10 movie, but it's like, damn, like it wasn't that bad. It was it was a cool idea. Arguably the worst movie I've watched in a very long time, and I don't even know why I did it. It was because it was on Netflix. Is Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire?
Oh no!
My god!
Oh no!
Oh my god, dude! Okay, so if you thought that the reboot with the women in like what is it, 2017 or whatever it was bad, and then the one after that was bad, this one's pretty bad too. Like I don't. They need to stop doing this, man. They've beat that series to death. It's hard to even respect the first two anymore, even though you know that you have to consider them completely different films, because they are. 1 and 2 are different universe, like shouldn't even be related. But of course they pull everybody they can in for cameos, right? Dan Aykroyd had to be in it. Bill Murray had to be in it, and anyone that's alive, Ernie Hudson.
Harold Ramis is Ghost. Have you no shame? They AI'd him into that. Harold Ramis, Paul. Can you believe it? Can't believe it.
And so that was terrible. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire gets a 2.5 out of 10 for me. It was not.
I told you that. Shit, I could have told you that for free. I really an hour and a half.
No, here's the deal. I was in a point where it's like we couldn't decide what to watch, and I was like, okay, new on Netflix, boom, we're just turning this on. It was the terrible idea. Don't watch it.
You could have watched Harry Potter again. You could have watched The Prisoner of Azkaban in that time. But
Prisoner of Azkaban's the worst one. We talked about this.
We'll talk about that later on. We'll have a little chit chat after the cast because I can't say the words I want to say to you right now. It's gonna be like that road rage incident. That guy, Paul, he's gonna say the same thing he told you. You fucking goddamn kidding. No, I wouldn't do that.
Jesus, dude. Jesus oh my
Christ.
God.
Harry Potter. No, I would never see it. I just hate women and children. Stop casting children in roles that they don't need to be in. Why are there kids in the Frozen Empire? It doesn't make sense to me. And also, have you seen Red Letter Media's take on the Ghostbusters? You really should watch their new one because they put in perspective how every character is actually a really big piece of shit and like they're not good people.
Oh, really?
It's pretty interesting. Yeah, go watch Red Letter Media. Tell you all you need to know about that. But anything else, Paul? Anything else you've been watching?
Yeah, so I watched an Adam Sandler movie called Funny People. It was honestly terrible. Seth Rogen, Adam Sandler, Jonah Hill. I didn't think it was that great of a... I don't know. It's like an Adam Sandler movie I'd never seen. The premise of it is like he's a comedian that gets cancer, and
terrible.
It wasn't very good.
They could have just given him fatal disease and then wrote a movie. Filmed a movie.
Yeah,
really hilarious.
But
that would have been funnier in this movie.
The movie I really want to talk about that I watched is I went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine 2 nights ago. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of like really positive reviews, but then I've also seen a really mixed side of like there are a lot of people that did not like it. From a movie perspective, the movie itself, in my opinion, was not structured well. Does that mean it's a bad movie? Not necessarily. It depends on what you're looking for in a movie. The plot was okay, but I just think it was like, I get Deadpool's thing is breaking the fourth wall, all that, whatever, but he just did it the entire movie this time around. Like, you thought 1 and 2 was bad, and that's cool, whatever, I get it, but just breaking the fourth wall, I get it. The jokes were funny. I thought it was a pretty funny movie. Hugh Jackman's role as the Wolverine was, awesome in it. It was cool to see him come back and how they kind of tied it into the, the timelines. And it just goes to show, though, dude, like, you can bring any of those characters back. Just saying, oh, time travel, oh, different timeline. Like, it's just, so that's kind of what they did with this one. I would give it an 8 out of 10. And I feel like that's being kind of generous. I do think it was good.
I'm with you in absurd movie scores, Paul. You drive me nuts every time.
Did you watch it?
No, I watched the Biggest Problem review on it. They did a 2.5 hour review and told me everything you need to know about that shit film. But no, I'm not saying your score is wrong for this film. I'm just saying 8 out of 10's high. Like, where do you put Silence of the Lambs? 6 out of 10? You psycho? Is that not a 10 out of 10?
I don't think that movie's that good. I'd give it a 5 out of 10. It's okay.
You have to really break down your scale rating system. One of these days, I'm going to go 0 to 10. What does it mean? It's all based on what?
My opinions don't matter. It's all like subjective.
Yeah, but I mean, no. You have a ranking scale as trivial as this. We got to go through what's a 0, what's a 1, what's a 2. We got to put 4 or 5 movies in each category, and then we'll have Paul's. This ties in. We'll make a theme song. We'll come back with Paul's rating system. That makes sense. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna work it on for you. I'm gonna find Paul's 0 movies. Okay. Paul's 10. We need to have a list.
Well, what we need to do is like come up ahead of time. Like, give me a bunch of movies. You'll have to find a bunch of movies that I've seen, and then I'd have to like actually think about it and rate them.
I'm already doing that. I'm doing every single movie we talked about on the cast for the last like 6 months. I'm gonna be like, all right, rank all these movies from 0 to 10, and let me know, and then we'll do it. And then you gotta, also
write that down. I will write that down.
Your rating system, Paul. People are commenting. They're like, this guy's fucking.
We don't get any fucking comments. Someone listens to this.
You put something 6 out of 10 that blew my mind last week that I couldn't even fucking stand. What did you put? You motherfucker. You put Bad Boys or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm just shit.
But the positives of that movie is it had really good action. The pacing wasn't terrible, but the plot was just kind of jumbled, I think. The cameos were really good. You know, and spoiler alert, skip ahead 5 minutes if you don't want to hear this if you haven't seen it yet. There are a lot of good cameos like Blade. You know, Wesley Snipes was in it. Elektra from, I think she had an Elektra movie. Did she have an Elektra movie?
No, was she
No,
the
but
one
she was
that
just in the Daredevil
she was in? Oh, that
with Ben
girl. Yeah,
Affleck. I think it was
yeah,
that.
that's yeah, yeah.
I can't
That
remember
one.
her.
Yeah,
I mean, it might just be even Angelina Jolie. I don't
it was
fucking
in
remember
the
who it was.
realm of lost media.
Yeah.
It's not
Um,
Angelina Jolie.
I don't know who it was. I think maybe it wasn't. And then Channing Tatum is Gambit. Like, why did they cast him as Gambit? That was kind of weird to
Yeah,
see.
remember they had that Gambit movie that was supposed to come out
And it
way
never
back
did.
when? Yeah, I never did. Yeah.
I wonder why. Yeah, who wants to go
Shit.
fucking see
Yeah. Who wants
Gambit?
to see Channing?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Gambit. Yeah, it's like a shit
Um,
character.
but yeah, so it's the first time I've been to a movies in a long time, and do the movies in a long time. Maybe I'm rating it higher just because of the atmosphere and me getting to see it in that setting. I didn't think it was super terrible though. Like the people that are tearing it apart, it's like I get it, but I don't think it was like. I definitely think it was better than Deadpool 2, dude. Definitely better than Deadpool 2.
Seen this, I'm not going to comment on that, but I did watch the Biggest Problem review of it. They did a 2.5 hour review of Deadpool, and they broke it down and plot. They didn't really talk about the fight. They did say this. They did say the fight scenes were really fun. Said it was a fun movie, but they
Yeah.
broke down where the plot was retarded, and every single thing they said was like, "Oh, that is
Yeah.
retarded." Like, why does Deadpool want to be a part of the Avengers? The whole
Yeah.
entire first two movies, he was anti-Avengers, and
Yeah.
they couldn't get joined, right? Doesn't make any fucking sense. Why did the lead villain show up to Deadpool and Deadpool didn't immediately? He's a hired mercenary. Why does Deadpool all of a sudden have a conscience and has an issue with killing people? Where'd that come from? There's a lot of core things that they talk about where I'm like, oh, this doesn't really make a lot of sense. But I still have to go see it for myself, check it out. At the very least, they said that the fight scenes are fun. And again, they said exactly what you said, that breaking the fourth wall too much ruins the entire film. And the whole point about Deadpool was being an anti superhero movie, right? Which is why I go and see it. It's kind of what Dick Master said. He's like, I only go see Deadpool because of the anti superhero, and I fucking hate superheroes. I hate those cocksuckers. And it's like, it's kind of like that, where it's like he's the anti superhero, but this one, ironically, he kind of wasn't. And he was like a superhero, and it felt more of a superhero film from what they told me. But I'll go watch it myself. Decide I do want to see it. We'll probably go see it this week. But yeah, other than that, this week I watched at a chance. I watched this is weird, Paul. You ever just like this ever happened to you where you're just like, oh, it's late at night, like, oh, I'm gonna throw on a movie and I'll just fall asleep to it. You ever do that? But you find
Yeah.
yourself not falling asleep to the movie and you're just enthralled into the movie. That
Yeah, it's
happened to
bad.
me twice this week. So I like 10 p.m. I got home and I'm like, I see on like the Hulu homepage, I'm like, Hell or High Water. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that in so long. Jeff
Oh,
Bridges,
it's good.
all those other people. I think Josh Brolin maybe's in it. No, maybe it's not. I'm like, oh, I'll go watch Hell or High Water. I've seen that movie like 4 times. I love it. I turned it on. I'm like, oh, I'll just sit down here and chill. I didn't get up until the movie was over. I just sat there and I was so enthralled into a movie I've seen 4 times. I think that might be like in the top 15 favorite movies of mine
That
of all time.
movie's dark. That movie's dark and it's
Dark.
hyper realistic. I like the realism of it. Like there's no like everything could have definitely happened, you know?
It's pretty much all the scenes are them robbing a bank, Jeff Bridges being really racist towards his Indian partner, and that's the whole movie. It's back and forth, and it shows it's like a southern kind of. It's funny too. It's got a little comedy in it. Anyway, I just sat down at like 10 p.m. and I got back up at like midnight, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? I was like in a trance.
I was
just blown
working in
away.
the movie theater when it came out,
Ugh,
and I went and saw it, and I was
okay.
like, "Damn, this is sick."
It's a really great movie. Go see that one. And then the second movie, this happened again. This is at like 1 a.m. I come home and I got like super high and I was like sitting down. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what's on YouTube free movies. And Paul Blart comes up. And I'm like, oh, I'll just fall asleep to Paul Blart. Once again, I'm up 2 hours, an hour and a half later, finishing Paul Blart. And I'm like, yeah,
Mall
let's
Cop.
go.
God.
I really liked Paul Blart Mall Cop
The first one's pretty good.
it's funny. It's a good laughs in that. It wasn't the greatest thing, but it's funny. I like the Indian guy. He's like, "Don't you lie to me, Bart." And he's like this skinny and he's trapping
Yeah.
his girlfriend. He's like, "I'm into freaky shit" or whatever. He's just a fucking weirdo. So yeah, I watched those two movies. Really, really, really good stuff. Yeah, nothing else. I've been really consuming a lot of nonsense YouTube content, which I'm trying to rein back and avoid, and maybe tune down PK a little bit, turn that down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, stop listening to 6 hours of PKA every week. That might help me with mentally. I might feel better.
That's
Actually.
fair. Could
Constant headaches.
could I share some Blu-rays I purchased? I have some down here
Yeah,
with me.
fucking movie talk. Yeah, it's movie
Yeah.
talk.
So the only one that I bought that I forgot to bring down here. So I'm going to start off with the only regular Blu-ray I have down here, simply because I didn't have a 4K version. But of course, Jet Li's the
Yeah.
one. I had to get this, even if there wasn't a 4K. I had to get it. The other one that I didn't have down here with me, that regular Blu-ray, is a combo pack. I got the Dirty Harry Magnum Force, the 4-pack of the Dirty Harry movies on regular Blu-ray, because those are classic, dude. I love that scene when he's like just eating a hot dog or a donut, and then like they're robbing the store right across the street, and he's using the Magnum, and he does, did I fire 6 shots or 5 or whatever, and then he pulls the trigger because he knows how many he shot, and it doesn't go off, and then the guy's just like, son of a bitch, like he's pissed.
Oh yeah.
I love that,
Yeah.
dude. So that one's really good, but
one, isn't it? That's not the first one. I think it's the second one.
it's Dirty Harry. I think it's the first one.
Maybe
I could be wrong, but so next up, Hacksaw Ridge 4K.
Great movie. Dude, I saw that in theaters, blew my mind. Great fucking movie. Mel Gibson directed.
Lone Survivor.
Don't like that movie.
It's okay. It's like to me it's just a little too slow, but once it gets going kind of deal.
Yeah.
The Green Mile.
Great movie. Awesome. Love that.
Not sure. And some of these.
He's pissing. He's screaming.
Yeah.
Why is he screaming from pissing, Mom? What's going on with that?
It's kidney stones, and I've had them.
Kidney stones. Yeah.
Or an STD, I guess, or a bladder infection of some sort. And some of these are going to be like, Paul, why the fuck did you buy this on 4K? And it's like, well, fuck you.
Yeah. What the fuck? You want to see them get fried in 4K? Great movie. I love that. I would love to see that in 4K.
Come over sometime. And now this is the only one I bought because Rambo 2008 is by far my favorite Rambo. The one reason
it is a good Rambo.
This movie's fucking brutal. Like, dude, it's hardcore.
He's just fucking mowing people down. Don't give a fuck. They're all Vietnamese. They don't care anyway.
Another questionable one on 4K, but The Goonies. I mean, how could you go wrong?
Yeah. How could you go wrong with that? Yeah.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Surprisingly, upscale does not look terrible.
Oh. Well, yeah. Well, they actually all look pretty decent. They do a good job at that. The Goonies one looks okay. I've seen it in 4K.
Total Recall.
Nice. I haven't seen that in quite a bit.
Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Awesome, gotta have that classic. Got that right.
I watched this one Dread, dude, on 4K.
Great
this
movie,
is like this is a must-have and like the good quality. It looks really good.
It's a good movie.
Now we're gonna get into.
Warned you, get up, you're headed for the cubes. The guy by the door. I love that.
Yeah, he warned him. Now we're gonna get into the 2 Steelbook 4Ks I have. Brawl on Cell Block.
I gotta see that again. Good movie. Yep, nice. The case is really, really cool. I'm a fan. Why is there 2?
Because with almost all of these, dude, they always give you a regular Blu-ray copy or some of them, dude. Total Recall came with a DVD, a Blu-ray, and a 4K Blu-ray.
Dude, that's awesome.
And then they also, a lot of them give you a digital download voucher. So it's like you could also like get it on like your computer or whatever.
Well, yeah, they get the idea that you might want to watch it as you did back then, like Total Recall. You might want to watch it in 480p. They should give you the VHS copy too. Put this shit in.
They're still manufacturing VHS. This is such a cool Steelbook. Cliffhanger.
Dude, fuck that. Fuck that. Looks like he's grabbing his ass on the front of it. I've never seen that movie.
What?
No.
Oh my gosh. You gotta come over and watch it.
Yeah, look, he's grabbing his ass.
No, he's grabbing his equipment, you know?
Look at a crosswalk driving, trying to grab a kid's ass or whatever.
Yeah, fucking dirty work. And then next up, we got, these are the collections. I have 3 collections. I bought the Rocky Knockout collection, all 4 Rockies.
He gets progressively more fucked up. Show me that again. Look at him. He's like fine, and then he's just all fucked up at the end. Oh no, he goes all right. He's pretty fucked up. He's all right. He's all fucked up. Why is he like that?
These are so
Love
good.
That.
I like the one with Jet Li too. Okay, that one's good, but I think it's the Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperors, the one that has Jet Li in it. Super good. I think The Rock is in the Mummy Returns, maybe, or maybe that's Scorpion King getting all fucked up. And then this was a purchase Destiny wanted.
So,
This is the extended edition. Every single Lord of the Rings. I had never
like
seen
4 hours
Lord of the
long.
Rings. I've never even seen the regular Lord of the Rings. I've never seen the theatrical cut. I've never seen the extended cut. She really wants me to watch this. It's probably going to be a thing, kind of like the Harry Potter, where it's going to take me having to recover from a surgery to sit down and watch all these, because that's what I did when I got my.
You're such a piece of shit. You are missing out on, you're holding the greatest trilogy of all time in your fucking hands, and you want to save it for an injury? You son of a whore. They're each one's 4 hours long. Sit down and watch them right now. Talk to me at 7 p.m. tomorrow, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about all of them. Ugh.
But that's what I got. That's what I got so far. There's only one more of my DVD adventure that I went on lately. The only one that I'm waiting on is The Fifth Element, which I'm pissed because I didn't realize it had a steel book, and I would have bought the steel book, but I got the right one.
You're like Taylor and won't watch Terminator. You just won't watch good movies. You're just allergic to good. You watch Frozen Empire when you could have watched 1/3 of one Lord of the Rings movie. 1/3 of the movie. They're each like 4 hours long. I can't believe she got the extended editions. Like those are fucking
with
long.
all the special features. She said that's the only version she'll watch. She won't watch the theatrical.
Yeah, I won't watch. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch the theatrical cut because it's still 3 hours long, but it's like cuts out all the good parts. And yeah, don't ever watch The Hobbit either. Throw that trash. It's series garbage.
I have that one.
Wait, hold on.
I like that series.
Paul's movie time. Ooh,
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
that was Paul's movie time. Thanks for stopping on in. Yeah,
that works. Stopping in. That's good. Well, you got any more topics you want to touch on, Paul, or should we call her a show? What you thinking?
I want more topics.
Let's take some more topics. Well, today, Paul, I went on a job interview, and I have a topic here for job interview tips, bad experiences, and have you interviewed anyone? So I'll just kind of go into my experience. You know, no one loves a job interview. No one wants to go in for a job interview. And part of the problem with the job interview is figuring out what the hell to wear, especially as like a 22-year-old goth retard. You're like, oh, I can't wear black lipstick in my chains today and look like a fucking Momo when I go in there to dress presentable. So I did. I put on pants today for the first time in a long time. No, I put on some pants, a nice little shirt, went in for an interview at a job. I won't say where. I don't want people to dox me, but it was just a local store. And yeah, it went really well. I really liked the guy. They did offer me the job. I was like, let me wait here a little bit because I got some other people pounding on my door for an interview. Planet Fitness.
What happened to the bakery?
They didn't want me. That was a long time ago. I got over it. They said, and I quote, "We don't want you," is what they said. I was like,
no, they didn't.
Oh, yeah. What do you mean? I have the message. Don't tell me.
Why?
We don't want your kind here. We don't want your kind.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they dropped the F word.
Whoa! You're gonna get us banned.
Right?
Can you say that on YouTube?
You can say that now, right?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I'll find
saying
out.
it now. No, you can definitely say it now. It's okay.
It was quiet.
Anyway,
no one heard it.
Yeah, Planet Fitness is gonna give me an interview, which I'd really would rather work at Planet Fitness just because I do like gym culture and stuff. But I don't really want to talk about jobs as much as I do want a job interview tips. Do you have any? I'm gonna go through some of my tips, Paul. Maybe you have some better tips for people going through a job interview, and then maybe think of any bad experiences as I'm saying this that you've had with job interviews because they suck. My biggest thing is, like, for me at least, from what I can tell, is super simple stuff. You gotta stand. You gotta sit with your back straight, right? You gotta have eye contact.
Yep.
Look at people's foreheads. It's a good trick. It's very, very important. The attire matters probably more if where Paul would interview because Paul's like a big boy job. He's got a real job. Like it shit matters. He has to wear suit and tie and whatever. If you're going in for like a college age kid, just wear fucking khakis and pants and maybe like a nice dress shirt and that's it. Don't go all out for the grocery store job. But dress like accordingly.
Or I will say this: if it is a lower end job, it doesn't ever hurt to also just put a suit on if you have it. Like
I don't.
It's okay. It's okay to come over. I feel like if I was the interviewer, if the interviewee came to like say an entry level job that pays minimum wage and they're showing a suit and they're on time and they're making eye contact and maybe it's you're doing pretty good in my book. So it's always I don't think there's a way you can overdress. Sure, there are probably specific jobs that are, but I just don't think anyone's going to care about it that much. It's way better than being underdressed, man. Don't show up in
You can't overdress
basketball
when you're going to interview
and
at Spencer's. I got a suit and a tie on. I'm here to interview a job for Spencer's. It's time to get the hell out. They're like, get the hell out of here. We don't want your kind in here. That doesn't matter. Oh, getting on time. I showed up 15 minutes early to my interview, and
that's smart.
I always assume this. Well, actually, pretty much every interview I've had, they don't start at the same time. So he was 15 minutes late. So I ended up chilling out there for like 30 minutes. But I was like, whatever. It was like still fucking showed up. The guy was
Hey,
really cool.
on
Yeah.
that aspect though,
Hmm.
you say bad experiences with interviews, and that kind of ties into something with me. I was thinking, I'm like, I don't think I've ever had a bad interview experience. I can think of one.
Hmm.
The lady that was supposed to interview me didn't even show up once. And then she didn't call me to way later. Oh, sorry, something came up. And then I rescheduled and she never called me. Or and then, oh,
Oh,
I'm so
yeah.
sorry a few days later. And that
Oh,
so think about it that way. You can be punctual, but if they aren't, that might not be a place you want to work if the person seems like they're not organized. Keep
oh
that
yeah.
in mind too.
Yeah. No, that dude was just like generally, well, from what I can tell, even he's like he's doing the work of like three people. Like
Yeah.
you, and that guy was really, really chill for the position. Seems like a lot of work. Anyway, that was so, and it was weird because I didn't have anxiety about the interview, and I think it's because up until the interview, because I knew about the interview for like 3 days. For the day of is usually when I get the bad anxiety. I just kept myself busy and I couldn't think about the interview until I was like, oh shit, I have to leave like right now. And then when I got to the store, that's when it all kind of sunk in. Like the anxiety as soon as I parked my car, and I'm like, this is literally what I said to myself, and this might be psychotic. I'm like, fuck it. You know who you are, you're gonna go in there and you're gonna blow their fucking minds. You got out of the car and my anxiety was gone and I had a really
Yeah.
great interview. I just yeah, so that helped, just kind of saying fuck it and go in there. You might get it, you might not. Again, it's like a lower entry level job, but if anything, just show up on time, dress nice, look nice, be nice, and you can probably get that job. Most places need people anyway, but I don't think I've had any bad experiences with interviews much. Except maybe the movie theater interview, purely because I did get the job, by the way, purely because I was such a small little child. When you're 16 interviewing for a
Yeah.
job, think back on the dumb things you did. But I did dress really nice for that one. I remember I dressed nicer than I did for this one. Um, yeah, that's like the worst
Sorry
thing
about that. Dad was trying to call me. I'm telling him
for
I'll
us.
call him in a little bit.
That's
Yeah.
like that's like the worst thing to be a 16-year-old and interviewing. Remember that
It's
call when you
yeah.
interview Papa Murphy's or wherever you were working?
Yeah.
Like that's awkward. That's
It
the rough.
is.
It's good at practice because now I have such good interviewing skills and
I
stuff.
always tell people, if an opportunity shows up that seems even just a little bit better, and I know the grass is always greener, happens to people, go do that interview. Because even if they offer the job, there's no harm in saying, I'm not interested. I think interviewing is a really good practice. Like,
Yeah.
it's something you should do. Just throw your name in the hat, and if they offer you an interview, do the interview. And if it seems like something you don't want to do, who cares? It's
Mhm.
just good experience. Even if you don't get the job, who cares? It's really good experience because, like you were saying, the more you interview, the better you get at it.
Yeah, I'm a professional at that shit now. I'd be
Yeah.
interviewing like a motherfucker. Anyway, so that was good. I don't think I've had any bad experiences. One thing I wish I always kind of shot the ball on is like when they ask like, "Do you have any questions?" And I'm like, I don't know. You kind of told me everything. Like I
That was
kind of
gonna
don't.
lead into my one of the tips I
Yeah.
had.
Like
Is
I do, but like I kind of don't. Like you should research what you're going
yeah.
into, right?
Yeah,
Like that's
exactly. That's
important.
what I always say
But
is
they cover like during the interview, he covered everything I was gonna ask. So I was like,
yeah.
I don't have any questions. You answered all five that I was gonna
Yeah.
ask. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Um
okay. But here's how I turned it around on him. I turned it around as, no, you actually answered all my questions. So you were very thorough. So it was like it felt very. I just kind of said I put like a compliment on him. Where like you're very thorough. You covered everything I needed to know. So like
yeah.
you're good. So I turned it around so I didn't seem like an asshole when you asked me if I had any
Yeah,
questions.
that's nice. Yeah, that was gonna be like my one main tip is do your research. This matters more so for jobs further in your career or higher paying jobs, is do your research on the company, the culture, when it even knowing something like the year the company was founded. Because I've
Mhm.
had an interview. Do you know when we started? Blah 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 blah. It's like, oh yeah, in
Yeah.
2007. I read that online in 2007, and you guys really focus on this, and this is your company values, and this is what you strive to be and strive to do. So always do your research. Now, again, doesn't probably pertain to like if you're a 16-year-old trying to get a job at a gas station, right? And then important things as you get older is like things they may not cover in the interview, which I've had. What kind of benefits do you have? Do you have health insurance? What
Mm,
kind of 401k match do you do? Do you have dental? Do you have vision? Uh, does the health insurance cover like families if I was married and had kids, right? So it's like stuff like that you'll think about more as an adult. Those are more higher end, like in the future as you get older, things you need to consider when doing a job interview. But yeah, the only bad experience, like I mentioned earlier, was that one where like the lady was just flaky, ditched me, then would call me back and still wanted to interview me. And I was like, I literally told her I'm not interested anymore, due to her impunctuality. And she never responded to me. And it's like, well, what do you expect? If you're not going to be punctual for me, I don't want to
Yeah.
really work for you.
Word?
It's,
Impunctuality, is that a word? I don't think that's a word.
I don't think it is. But also too, like, it also depends. If she didn't show up twice and she had a really good excuse, fine. But the fact of the matter is, this person didn't have an excuse at the time, right? And I just deemed it like a place I probably don't want to work. Because if this is just an example of how management runs, why would I want to be underneath that management?
Oh yeah,
Um,
no, it's definitely that's his telltale time. I mean, it's unpunctional.
yeah.
And there's
Um,
non-punctual. So there we go.
okay.
We got it. It's
Yeah.
mixed in.
And for other tips, I mean, kind of what you said, sit up straight, look for, eye contact, always offer to shake their hand, it also, I've had this happen and it's made me look really bad before. And this is when I was younger in my interviewing career. Usually you're in the room already, and then the interviewer sometimes will come in or sometimes they'll come get you. Always stand up and shake their hand. Do not from a sit down position unless they're like, oh, no need to get up. Because I've had that happen before too. I've one time done that and I'm like, that was dumb. And whatever. It's like you learn. It's like, you make mistakes.
Yeah, stupid shit. Yeah, no, just standing up, yeah, straight.
Being
I always go
presentable.
back. Man, you can say what you will about Dr. Jordan Peterson, but when during that time when he came out originally, like way back in the day, this is like a 6 months after he blown up, he has such good advice that I still use, especially the one with stand up straight with your shoulders, with your back straight and your shoulders forward, or like kind of like forward, like taut.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like the best advice I still use every day.
Yeah.
And you hear it in his voice too, so it's really great. But yeah, it's a big thing. Paul, have you ever interviewed anyone? I don't know if you have. Have you had
Yeah.
interviews?
Yeah. So I'll go into that here in a second. Man, there was one other thing I wanted to cover as far as tips, but now I'm kind of blanking on it. Oh, look, this may seem dumb, and I'm sure all of you have done this. When you're nervous for a job interview and it's like a few days out, you're about to have it in a few days. Not only do your research on the company or, whatever it is, do just look up what are common interviewer questions. Like what do people commonly ask people they're interviewing? One of the things you're probably going to get is something similar to like, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? When is the time where you had to deal with a stressful situation and how did you overcome that? Or if it's like a team-based position, when is a time you've had to work as a team to solve something and how did that go? What happened when you've had a conflict with an employee? What did you do? There's going to be weird things like that, and you should have an answer to those. Even if they don't even ask them, go just start thinking of those things. Because if the question's asked, then you kind of have an idea of where to start. Because the worst thing that can happen, man, is they ask you a question and you don't have an answer to it and you're sitting there thinking. And that happened. It's happened to me. It's awkward,
It happened to me, thankfully. Dude,
Um,
this guy didn't ask me virtually any. Is I thought I was gonna get one of those questions like, "What are your greatest strengths? What are your faults?" My flow is crazy. I can make. I start doing a little dicky.
yeah.
Well, my flow was crazy. What? He didn't ask me any of that. I think he just saw that I had restaurant experience. He's like, "Yo, you prepped for 2 years? Oh, no one else that I'm interviewing right now has prepped at all. So, do you want a job?" And it's pretty much what he was like going for. He didn't ask me
Yeah.
anything else. He's just like, "You
Yeah.
want a job?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll think about it, man."
Yeah.
Uh, no, but yeah, no, it's definitely good to have the questions. That's the ball that I dropped this time, but next time I'm coming back around full force for the next job interview, especially when if I get an
Yeah.
interview at Planet Fitness. Man, I want to work at Planet. That interview I've actually been preparing in my head for a
Yeah.
while. I'm like, man, I'm trying to
Have
perpetuate a
you had that
positive
one yet?
environment. No, I'm waiting for it. So they messaged me like the other day. This is yesterday. They emailed me. It was like, what times would work for an interview? I'm like, XYZ would work. I'm just waiting for them to call me. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would really rather work there than this place, but it is what it is. But I'm gonna try to get that. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny is like my current job, this wasn't even the most nerve-wracking interview I had. Most nerve-wracking one was when I worked for the college and I had to present a PowerPoint that I created on a topic they gave me a week prior to the interview. Hey, make a PowerPoint on this topic and then present it to us. I thought it was going to be like one person. There's a boardroom of 10 people. It's like all the heads of the college. And I'm in front of a boardroom and I have a laser pointer and I literally had to go through it. And guess what? I aced it and I got the job over everybody else.
Nice.
And
Hell yeah!
and
Fuck yeah!
and I was so nervous, but that was the most nerve-wracking thing. It's like I'm cool with interviewing one-on-one, but it was like a group of people. and it's tough. And I've noticed I've interviewed at a different school, like other than that, and they all do like boardroom style interviews where it's like a group of teachers or a group of faculty asking you questions.
Ooh, that does sound kind of cool though. Actually, I've never had an interview like
It's
that.
tough.
I don't know why I immediately pictured you as Norm Macdonald after he eats the chocolate brownie, some dirty work, and you're up there presenting. You're like, so what you'll see here on this graph, and you got the pointer, and you're like,
Yeah.
you're
Well,
sweating
dude,
profusely.
I'm
You're
not even.
Holy George.
So I'm not even joking with you. This is how I think I aced that interview. Not only did I spend a lot of time on my PowerPoint, even though, so they said the presentation had to be 2 to 5 minutes. I think I maybe just hit 2 minutes. Like it wasn't long, but it got the point across. I think it was maybe 8 or so slides. And I don't remember what the topic specifically was, but here's where I think they thought it was really professional. I had note cards that I had practiced in the mirror like every night. And I brought the note cards and it had stuff on the note cards per slide that weren't on the slide. The slide was mainly images and bullets. And then I expanded on them with what I had on the note cards. And I think they really liked that because that's how our PowerPoint's supposed to be. You're not supposed to bring up a slideshow and it's like paragraphs of info. No one's going to read all that.
Yeah,
really what you want is quick bullets of what you're covering from that slide. Images, because people like, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And then you just read, you have more info, either memorized or on the note card. What were you going to say? What's so funny?
I don't know why. I just picture you using Microsoft Slides and it does those transitions where it like goes all the hex cubes.
It
or,
did.
like,
I did do that. I put
you
transitions. Yeah. I
like,
use PowerPoint.
You put
Might
the
have been
long
Google Slides,
transitions. It's like all long and shit. I just picture it and there's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Guys, really quick. I just have to. You play a boombox and it's playing like Breaking Benjamin really quietly as you do the transition. Awesome. Yeah, dude, that'd have been so. That would be so funny.
Or it's like fucking Kevin in The Office when he does the investors meeting and he puts on "Welcome to the Jungle" and he's running around the room. Welcome to the jungle. You should do that. Put on "Run Around the Room," run around the room.
Yeah, and you start running around, you're high-fiving everybody at the table. And,
you got one of those microphones like they do at like a motivational speaker, one of those small ones that come to your side of days.
Yeah.
You doing, people?
What's going, everybody? Clapping your hands. Yeah.
You bring in a bunch of black backup dancers, they're like fucking throwing it back. That'd be awesome.
Honestly, now that I think back of it, even though most job interviews are serious, right? Sometimes it's not a bad idea to throw a little bit of humor in there. And something like that, I think people would think is funny. Like you come with a portable speaker and a headset and you have like music playing or something. And you're being serious.
Yeah.
I don't know if people would dislike that. You're really like taking a risk there, trying to see if these people have any sense of humor. And depending on the position,
that would be so funny. I would give you, if I was to interview, I'd be like, this guy's fucking hired. We need this guy on our team right now. Get this guy. That's awesome. We should just do that. We should like specialize in
hidden camera interviews.
Yeah, hidden camera interviews. Paul, do you know what? When I was in the interview, I had this like psychotic thought where I said, wouldn't it be funny if I just pulled out my phone and made a phone call to Glenn in the middle of the interview?
Yeah, hold on one sec. I gotta take this.
Yeah, dude. I would honestly, I would love to do a hidden cam where I go to job interviews and I'm just an asshole. I think you'd blow up really quick if you did the like a little cam somewhere or whatever,
Yeah.
And you're just a fucking asshole. You're like, hold on, man, I gotta take this right here quick. It's my dog calling.
But I know it's been long-winded. Have I ever interviewed somebody? Yes. The first time I interviewed somebody was actually my friend when I was the manager of a Cricket Wireless, which is a job that I hated. It wasn't a good interview because I was just kind of like, I already knew him and I knew he needed a job and I knew he could probably do the job. And honestly, I kind of wish I was a better interviewer, even though he was my friend. I just kind of wish I did better because he ended up like not liking the job and, not being around that long. Like he just wasn't into it. He was having a hard time selling stuff. He wasn't really a salesperson. That's fine. That's not, you have to do those jobs when you're early in your career to figure out what you like, what you're good at and what you're not good at, what you need to improve on. But I have interviewed, the current guy I have working under me. I interviewed another, not really interview, just kind of like met with them. I am a very laid back interviewer. Since I'm interviewing for a technical job, I ask technical questions, like basic things. Can you do this from command line? What's the command that does this that everybody that's even in IT for a year should know? And if they can't answer that, and I've had people not be able to answer that. It's like, don't get me wrong, I know a majority of our job is Googling, but if you can't tell me like the basic command to pull up like the local IP address on like the system you're on,
Even I know that. It's Control P.
no. But
It's like, no, you asshole.
but yes, I've interviewed a couple people, and I think as I go on, I get better and better at it. My interviewer style, though, is very laid back, as if you're just having a conversation with a friend, and maybe that's a bad idea, but you're still professional. Just be chill about it. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be a clipboard every time they talk. You're writing things down, making them feel like not welcome.
Yeah, there's no reason to be an asshole. Actually, this interview I had today was one of the. Well, I think it's because the guy was not an asshole, and I could tell that pretty quick. I like to think I have a great. I think our family in general has great intuition for sussing out jimmies and assholes. I just feel like I have a really great radar. I can't detect gay people. That's my weakness. I can't ever tell someone's gay, but I can tell if they're fucking they're an asshole. It's very easy to tell. Oh, speaking of telling people gay, about the concert is a little funny story. I want to say is some gay guy was hitting on me, and I was like, "Well, how'd you know he was gay?" This guy was gay. He kept like trying to like instigate because I was like dressed like very goth and very hoary at that Primus show. I was just like a whore. And he just kept kind of trying to like start conversations with me, and I wasn't having it. He was standing in front of us. He was like, "Oh, stay away from me." And then you ever see like a white guy headbang? They don't know how to headbang. If you don't have hair, you shouldn't be headbanging. He was headbanging, and it was like Lane dancing where he's like some trying to get off his back, and I was disgusted by him. I went and stood away from him. I was like, "Get away from me, dude."
What the heck?
Oh, that was a funny story.
Um,
Ugh, gross.
do you have anything else on job interviews?
No, sorry, I didn't mean to change the topic. No,
No, that's
not
okay.
really. I just, yeah, I have no fear about job interviews anymore. I guess at least now for where I am right now. So
Trust
I'm
me,
really
after a while, once you go
excited more.
interview again, it'll kind of come back. You'll be a little nervous, but then you'll get
Kind of like
used to it.
first dates. You go on like 12 first dates, and and like after actually, it was actually like the fourth one where I'm like, well, this isn't difficult at all. And then I've been on so much more. It's like, it's not even anything to be nervous about anymore because I'm an adult. But yeah,
Um,
that's all I got for job interviews.
the last topic I'd like to cover, and feel free to throw another topic in if you want to cover another one. But I just want to say I went to a local, one of our brothers is a cop. It's a police officer, and he has a canine. And I went to the Northland Canine Foundation thing. They do it once a year, and it's mainly like kind of for kids and families. They got bouncy houses. They have food you can buy. They have a silent auction, but really they demo police dogs. Like they'll demo how a dog can like heal, follow their part when it can determine when their partner's in danger. It even knows sign language. Like they don't even have to be verbal. Like how drug sniffing dogs, they do a bunch of demos, like even bite demos, and the dog jumping through a car window that's open and biting the person inside. So like really cool stuff. And I just want to say like you don't really realize how smart dogs can be if trained extremely well, like these ones are. And shout out, I'm not going to say what police department, I'll cover it here, but shout out, they got trading cards, and this is my brother's canine, Donnie. I thought that was super cool. He's a German Shepherd Malinois mix. What was that?
That's said at school. Sick.
Oh, you said it's cool? Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't really hear you.
Oh.
And Donnie's trained in narcotics detection, tracking, and criminal apprehension. Now, most dogs, especially in like smaller towns like ours, the dogs you have typically are trained in multiple facets. However, the department my brother works for actually has like a bomb sniffing dog where like that's its one thing is to sniff for bombs. Because I think it's like kind of hard to like dual train certain things. But yeah, so this is my brother's second canine. His first canine was Diesel, R.I.P. He had a spinal degenerative disorder. He had to be put down late in his policing career. But yeah, so it's cool. Life is an adventure. Don't ruin it by making bad choices, is what this the back of this says. So yeah, don't let a dog fuck you up. But also too, if the cops bring out a dog, what was that?
Dog wrote that. The dog wrote that.
Yeah, the dog wrote that. Also too, though, I want to reiterate this to people. If the police bring out a dog and you're involved in that situation, just comply. They will fuck you up if they sick that thing on you. It will fuck you up.
Why do you
I'm
want
not.
them to comply? Do you not like cool police activity videos? Nah. In fact,
I
run
do,
towards
but they
the
don't show the
police with
dog
your
ones
hands in
that
your
much.
pocket, shouting at them, so we can get
They
cool videos on
they don't
police activity.
they don't show the dog ones that much on police activity. I've noticed.
No, because mostly the dogs aren't involved. I feel like dogs aren't involved as much as you think they are. I really don't see a lot of bites. I also don't
I've
really
seen
agree
a
with
lot of bites
do that type of shit, but
in a different place. I don't know if I should even mention that. I've
I've
seen
seen
some
some
bite
bites in
videos.
different
Yeah.
places, but those ones won't be released. Yeah, you know my take on cop. Gutterball is very anti-cop. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Just fucking
We're an
memeing. Yeah,
anti-police podcast.
yeah. Our dad kept calling it the puppy show, and I got all excited. I'm like, fuck, I love puppies. Puppies, look, I get to go play puppies. He's like, no, it's canines. I'm like, oh, I'm out. I was about to go, and I'm like, oh, canines? I'm out. And for that reason, I'm out. I was all excited. He
You
really
really
let me
see
down
how
on that
smart
one.
those goddamn dogs are, though, man. It's like fuck.
Oh, yeah, but can they beat me in Halo Reach? No. So they're fucking dumb. They're dumber than me. They'll always be useless. I feel like
Well,
pigs are smarter than dogs. Come on. Let's be real here. A nice
no,
home. Yeah. Nah, there's no
I
way.
don't think you can train a pig like a dog, though. Like they don't have the athleticism to do what a dog can do. Like you think a pig's gonna fuck you up like a dog can? Maybe a
You think
warthog.
an elephant's smarter than a dog? I think an elephant's smarter than a dog. You think a chimpanzee is smarter than a dog? One of those chimpanzees that's using stone.
Okay, there's a difference between like smart and then also abilities of like what they can do though, right? Like an elephant can't sniff for drugs probably. I mean with that big snoot, fucking maybe. I don't know if they can smell as
It,
good as a
it,
goddamn
it,
dog.
it
But
prob-
like but
that big.
like yeah, the big snoot, dude. Like
Yeah. No, I think they are as smarter than dogs. Dogs are useless. And I know, because I own a dog. That dog is fucking
not if
useless.
trained well.
Not trained well. Yeah, no, they could definitely. No, dogs will fuck you up. That's pretty cool though. It's fun to see animals bite humans. Pretty funny. I wouldn't want to get
Yeah.
bit by those
I didn't get to
fuckers.
stay
Fuck
for the
that.
whole thing because I left early anticipating I had the podcast, but you know how that went.
Crazy world we live in. Crazy
Yeah.
world we live in.
Yeah, yep. Well,
What are you
that's
gonna
all I
do?
got.
That's all I got, Paul, except for go to hell and I hate you. I'm just kidding. No, Paul, guess who's back in the news? Guess who's back, Paul? He's back. The disrespect. The doctor. The doctor's back, Paul. He came back. He beat the allegations. He came back on Twitter and he's starting to argue with trans and gay people online. He's back, Paul. He's back. Can you believe it? He's playing so there's a picture he posts where he's playing chess and it's from so it's your point of view of him on the other side of the chessboard, so you can see your chess pieces in front. And it's so funny. Dick Masterson tweets, even the player he's playing against is a child because in the picture you to Doc is like 5 feet taller than you and you're looking up at him and he's pretending he's a child. But no, the Doc is back. Isn't that great, Paul? He's back. He's streaming. He did a 24-hour Minecraft stream. Can you believe it? And he's back. He's back in the news.
How
Big
is
up.
he? Where is he streaming?
He
Who's
beat,
letting
he
him
beat
stream?
the allegations. He beat the allegations. YouTube. No, I don't think he's. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. Vito made a fake Twitter post where he was live streaming. No, but he is back. He is back on Twitter. He is dunking on people, commenting. So the Doc is back. He beat the allegations like Michael Jackson. I'm really impressed. I'm really happy for it. We can't wait to see what he does. So
I don't believe it.
that's the good news of the week.
I don't like Dr. Disrespect. I think he's actually probably a pedophile and should not be on social media anymore.
Good news of the week. Pedophile back online. It's always
Nope,
great.
not good. Terrible. I wanted to talk about other allegations and things, but considering time and I have to edit this tonight, I think we'll cover those next time.
Talk
But
about the comedian next week.
yeah,
That was good.
is there anything else you want to cover?
No, it should be good. I mean, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. I just do the hands and not even say anything anymore. I like this. Yeah, anyway, I'm good though. I got it. Jazz hands are fun. I'm gonna start doing this more.
Yeah.
What if I was in the interview and I just started doing jazz hands? You think they'd like that?
What if before you went in there, you pick out a word like the, and every time he'd say the, he wouldn't know, but you would do jazz hands, and you'd be like, why are you doing that? And it's like, just don't say the. That's what you say, or whatever word you pick.
Well, the main reason. What are you doing? They might think you have an autistic quirk, so they might not even say. Honestly, they wouldn't say anything, dude. All you'd be like, I'm autistic. They probably wouldn't even say anything.
No,
They'd be
dude, they
like,
think you'd have like Tourette's. It's like, dude, you just can't say pizza around me. This is a pizza restaurant. Stop. Yeah.
Restaurant, you asshole. That's such a shit sketch. That's like whitest kids you know. We should do that one. You can't say it, pizza. It's pizza.
Stop. Yeah, you're getting mad because he keeps saying it. Yeah, that makes his tick go
Every
off.
customer that comes in, orders a pizza, you're freaking out. That's funny as shit, actually. I like that.
It's like showing like clips of like your first day. You're going to put the pizza in the oven, and someone goes, "Got a hot pizza on the way," and you drop it.
Throw it up. You just
you're like, fuck! It falls on the ground. You ruin it.
Jesus Christ! You're just a shit employee. That's
all right, everybody. That was Gutterball 111. Have a great weekend. Whoa ho ho.